Championship Sunday here on the Stay Plugged In Network for Carry2College Winter 2023. Again, I'm your host, Bearlight, joined by Olin here in the booth, and we're excited to talk through the last brackets of Rocket League and Overwatch 2. Olin, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bearlight. How's it going?
Not too bad. Can't complain. We obviously saw some really good matches yesterday overall, starting with a little team that I wanted to talk about in just a bit in Overwatch 2 called Deerfield. We'll actually get to see them a little bit later in this broadcast as well in their quarterfinals matchup, so that's pretty awesome. But let's talk Rocket League right off the bat and look at where we are here in the bracket. Although we don't have a graphic, we'll talk you through it the best we can. Shoot us with the #1 seed, and we saw why as they were absolutely dominating yesterday, put on quite a performance.
Yeah, Tide and Resonal, household names here in the Stay Plugged In community, and they were definitely keeping their namesake as a top team in the spin community.
And speaking of, Stay Plugged In regulars, Humphrey Gang, again back in it, just going by Humphrey this time, because we've seen them with Wavy and Daunt in the past as well and winning a C2C. They're now part of the Charlotte Phoenix, which is a pretty darn cool story, by the way. But now it's Peep. Peep the Skill is around with this squad. That squad has been around the Stay Plugged In network, so I think it's pretty safe to say you get your reps in here at Stay Plugged In, and obviously you're doing something right. You're getting to the quarterfinals with ease.
Definitely, and it's going to be a fireworks show in the semifinals if they both make it.
That's right. And then Humphrey's actually going up against a team that we saw yesterday as well from the CMS League here, the Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools, as it actually is. I know we talked prior to the broadcast about maybe having the wrong one. Yeah, I'm going to call you out a little bit. But the Bean Boys working into the next round. So they're in the quarterfinals to face off with Humphrey. Listen, they're underdogs this time around, but they were last time against Nears, and they pulled it off.
Yeah, incredible game yesterday, getting the 3-1 upset over the 5-seed Nears. Pretty dominant showing, too, so we'll see if they can carry it through on day 2.
That's right. On the other side of the bracket, we have a few teams we haven't seen quite yet, as Bag Chasers facing off with BBE, and then we have Miracle facing off with 916 Frosty. So the winners of those two matches will go and play each other in the semifinals. Same applies with Shooters versus Sanction Black and Humphrey versus Bean Boys. The winner of those two matches will face off as well, and we'll get to see the finals of the Rocket League bracket as well. It'll be casted here on this channel. Me and Discounts on the cast for this one, and Old Charge and Master Hamster we have here on the Overwatch 2 side, which will kick off the Overwatch brackets here on the main channel, which is cool. We got the bracket listed up here for us as well. Royalty facing off with Starlights. We've got NCEA Elite facing off with Rizless, a team that Old Charge will get into a little bit. I know he's got a little bit of history, or at least notes written up for that team as well. We got Impact facing off with Roland Ronalds. I think I got that right. And then Lords of Cinder facing off with Deerfield Warriors, which, by the way, we have an interview lined up with one of their players, the captain, actually. Mesmer will be joining us here for an interview, or joins Sheridan for an interview, and we'll get to see that later on in the broadcast, too.
Yeah, if Mesmer's playing anything like he was yesterday, it's going to be a dominant showing out of Deerfield. That team just was not missing yesterday, and Mesmer was leading the charge as captain on that. So excited to see the Overwatch 2 side of the bracket. Should be some fun today.
For sure. We talk about Deerfield in their the first match, which we got to capture here on stream. I believe it was against might have been against Phantoms. I'll have to double check. I'll get you the exact details of that, but I know for a fact that one, it came down to the wire, and Deerfield was able to sneak it out. And I know it was a 2-0 victory, but both maps were a 2-1 situation, right? Or at least the first one was a 2-1 situation, and the last one came down to the wire. So it was a very good performance from a team that played against. It was actually Royalty, and Royalty here in the bracket yet again. That's a team of free agents, by the way. So they have never played together, or maybe only a couple have played together, but it's not a full roster, and they looked like it too. I mean, there was so much talent here from a recruiting standpoint.
It definitely, Royalty coming out. They showed off against Deerfield yesterday. Like we said, it was a close game, and so they're opening up with Starlight, the #1 seed. Getting a little confused reading the bracket here. So Royalty opening up with Starlight, the #1 seed. It's going to be a tough matchup, but if they play anything like they did yesterday, I think they'll have a chance to pull through.
And like we had mentioned yesterday, Deerfield, again, that all-senior team. So that the amount of talent on this team, not just their captain Mesmer, but the rest of the team, obviously you have to know what role that you excel in, and be able to hop into that role and really lead your have your leader lead by example, but also being able to step up in those shoes and say, I can be one of those players that you need as a captain. And I think every single one of their roster was able to pull that off, which is quite frankly, relatively rare. And that's one of the reasons why it's so difficult to grind to the top of Overwatch 2 or basically any title.
Definitely, and with Overwatch 2 shifting to just one tank instead of the two, seeing the captain role kind of shift over to that tank position and being able to organize the play a little better, and you're seeing more lurk plays out of the supports, or even just the stray lurk out of a what's the other role I'm missing? Tank support and
Tank. Oh my goodness, tank support and DPS, baby.
There
DPS.
It is, DPS. Wow.
Nailed it. Yeah.
No, should be some exciting gameplay today, and we're really looking forward to seeing it.
For sure. And a big shout out and thank you goes out to the colleges that joined Sheridan for an interview yesterday as well. Dylan Gentlecore of the University of Wisconsin River Falls. We had Dan Marino as well from Ball State University, and PJ Farrell of Cleveland State University. And they had just all great things to say, great advice going out to high schoolers who are looking to, really find their way and find the right home collegiately, but also for other colleges who are looking to make it in the scene too.
Yeah, no, we heard Dylan Gentlecore and him just kind of explain his recruiting process, and that he's looking for leaders that are going to fit in any role possible. They're not looking for star players. They're just looking for people who are going to make their program better as a whole. And I think that's just kind of what the root of all of this is. You're trying to find your spot. You're trying to find your fill. As well as just looking for what's going to be better for you in the academic sense of mind going into college, and as just kind of benefiting on all sides of the ball.
That's right. And the college fair going on yesterday as well was pretty special. We had time set up yesterday at 1:30 Eastern time, just prior to the broadcast, where players can walk in, I say walk in, but virtually into a Discord channel and talk to directors and coaches one-on-one. 40 colleges, like I mentioned, in that Discord server. And so that was cool. Also a break in between action to also go and chat with some of the colleges so they get a senior gameplay, and then you go back and you get to talk to them there too at 4 p.m. Eastern yesterday. And we saw a multitude of colleges with just multiple students within it. It was basically the virtual equivalent of people surrounding the booths themselves.
Yeah, it was awesome to see. Just I think we saw like 9 or 10 students in one call at a time, or one channel rather, and that's just awesome to see. Students getting out and interacting with the coaches, and I'm sure they're asking some high-level questions and making sure that program's going to be a good fit for them, or just kind of evaluating the situation as a whole. So yeah, looking forward to seeing some more of that today. Maybe we'll get some more interviews on Sheridan's side of things, and we'll see what we can do.
Speaking of which, a player interview coming up as well. Remember, we congratulated WASD Taylor for his commitment to Concord University. So again, congratulations out to him, and we'll get to talk to him a little bit later in the broadcast too. Sheridan had sat down with him previously. Also, we'll talk to Deerfield's captain, Mesmer. We mentioned that too. So we'll see what he had to say as far as the event as a whole, CTC, his experience here, but also just kind of getting into the depths of what he's looking for, or how he approaches the college conversation as well. I think that'll be a unique perspective. It's not often we get to talk to players about the process that they're going through too.
Yeah, it's a whole evaluation process. You got to make sure, like I was saying earlier, it's a right fit on the academic side, but as well as, you're gonna step into that program. I think it was gosh, I'm blanking on the university. I think it was Ball State, where they have the JV role, where you step in, get your feet wet, and just kind of understand the program a little more, and get the full schedule built out of what it takes to be a collegiate esports athlete, and as well as balancing the school side. That's the priority, right? Just kind of understanding what you're getting into, and figuring things out. It's really cool to dive in and hear their story.
That's absolutely right. Yesterday, we also had a multitude of channels, 30 plus channels live at any one time, where you can check out every single match that's being played here in Carry2College. I mean, I think it goes without saying that's a unique experience. It's not very often you see more than one stream or two streams, quite frankly, for a lot of programs. But here at Stay Plugged In, we truly believe that every single player has an opportunity to go to college. We already know that. We also think that they can do so via esports, whether it be casting or playing. And so we want to give love and some stream time to every single player that comes through this channel. We want to show love to you, because there's always that opportunity. You never know. It doesn't matter if you're a silver. We want you in here and to show off your skills, and maybe even learn and get better and improve on yourself. That's the goal, after all.
Definitely, yeah. Just seeing yourself on video, I know it helps me at times when I was playing collegiately. Just seeing the little mistakes you make, and even hearing the casters talk about something you did great. You know, you're gonna keep doing that. VOD review is crucial, and just having a second pair of eyes is a coach or an analyst role, or even casters can double as that sometimes. So yeah, definitely want every player we can to get on stream and to broadcast their talent. Yeah.
That's right. And so, like we mentioned, the finals of Rocket League will be going on this main stream at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, which is the same time as Overwatch 2. Don't worry, for those of you that do enjoy and play Overwatch 2 and you want to watch that finals, you absolutely can. It'll be on Stay Plugged In D, so make sure to go hop over to twitch.tv/StayPluggedInD and give that channel a follow, so that way when it comes around and it's finals time, you're not freaking out. You know where to go for that finals. And here on the main channel as well, while the Rocket League finals is going on, I'll be giving you live updates as well as far as how that match is going, so that way you're not missing out on any of the details too. But I mean, quite frankly, a lot of action to cover, and the more the merrier, I always say.
Definitely, yeah. No, we're gonna have some action-packed streams here today. Not sure if the stream schedule is the same A through GG, but we're gonna have multiple streams regardless. So definitely be poking in here and there, and yeah, excited to get going, man. It should be a fun day.
It should be. It's Stay Plugged In A until J, I believe it is. So
there
all the way through there, that will cover all the action that we have here for you. Total of 8 matches being played, 4 for Overwatch 2 and 4 for Rocket League now. But we have one matchup lined up here for you on the Overwatch 2 side for the quarterfinals. So we're excited to bring you over so we can watch Lords of Cinder facing off with Deerfield Warriors. Let's go ahead and get out to the casters. Casters, how are you today?
Thank you, Bear. We're very good. Master Hamster alongside Alt Charge here, and can't wait to get into this one. I mean, I was here for day one, and I love it when I get to work back-to-back days, especially when I get to see the same teams that I saw yesterday compete again. We've got Deerfield up first. Master Hamster, they were dominant yesterday. What are you looking forward to as we get into Championship Sunday?
I mean, there are a lot of things, right? I'm sure this is the time where these teams really want to show off what they're made of and what they can do. So, I mean, I'm just excited to see the high-level gameplay, especially now that we're moving into the quarters and the semis. And like you said, we saw a little bit of Deerfield yesterday, and they were dominant. In particular, their main tank was just going crazy. I saw a couple of those clips, and I'm kind of hoping that they pop off again because, man, that Sigma gameplay on Eichenwald was immaculate. It was insane, and I'm really hoping we get to see that, and maybe Lords of Cinder will also be able to show off some of their skill as well. So I'm just very excited all around to see all this wonderful gameplay.
Yeah, yesterday Mesmer on Deerfield was just a final boss, a force to be reckoned with, and he was taking on all challengers on Royalty and on Phantoms in their game too, and just couldn't be stopped. But I think today they could run into some very good challenges. They 2-0'd Royalty yesterday. It was a very close game despite being a 2-0. Royalty's now the 8 seed. There's some teams in this final day of the tournament that are insane. Bearlight mentioned Rizless. They've got some open division, darn near contenders, pro quality team, as well as Starlight and Rolling Ronalds. These are teams that are top of the line, open division, free agents that want to play collegiate. And we know what Deerfield is going to bring to the table, and you can see right now they're lined up on the Winston and the Genji as we head in to Ilios Ruins for point number 1. Will Lords of Cinder, the number 5 seed, be up to the task to fight this incredible team that was so dominant on stream yesterday?
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, right now, it'll be really interesting. I love Ilios. I love starting out on Control as a map in general, just because it's a great way for these teams to really feel each other out, get into a little bit more of a brawl or dive kind of mindset, and figure out where the weak link of each of these teams are. In particular, we're going to see Mesmer on that Winston and Cheese on the Doomfist, so we're going to see a lot of diving into that back line, really trying to take advantage of supports that are out of place or even DPS that aren't ready for it. And already Reckless going to start out with a first blood kill onto Uni, that Reaper.
Yeah, and we already know that once Deerfield has some blood in the water, they just go for it, especially if Mesmer has that jump on cooldown. Him and Hideo just come in and cut up the opponents. Once that original DPS in Uni was down, it was just wiped out. Uni's hiding right now. They did get rezzed back up, but they got nowhere to go.
I mean, the res came through, right? But if there's no team around to help you once you're up, so Uni doing a great job just playing safe, waiting for the rest of the team to come back. But look how aggressive they're playing right now. Hideo is just already going for the kill, gonna find that BAP as Mesmer finds the Sojourn as well. And yeah, Oni's on point, but without a team, there's not much they can do.
Yeah, and we kind of saw this yesterday too. In their game against Royalty, they really couldn't be this aggressive as they are now, where they hold all the way up in spawn. But in their second game up against Phantoms, that was a little bit of a weaker opponent to match up against Deerfield, and they just started to limit test. They want to find out exactly how much they can get away with before they're stopped. And I don't think they're going to waste any time doing that today. They're all the way up in the Lords of Cinder spawn doors right now, and we're going to see this continue until Lords of Cinder get it together a little bit, make a coordinated play, and stop Deerfield from just pushing all the way up the map.
Oh my goodness, yeah, what do you do here? We've seen Cheese switch into 3 different tanks at this point. Nothing is really sticking, nothing's really working. We see Lords of Cinder switching up their composition, switching up some of their characters, really trying to deal with this, but Mesmer on this Winston is so oppressive. And they just, like you said, they can't even get out of spawn doors without being run down. And now look at this high ground that they have here. It's so difficult for Lords of Cinder to just push forward and push through, and they're just getting again, just pressured from the back, pressured by this Winston, by the Blade. 3 members picked up with the Blade. Cheese will find one, but it's not enough.
No, almost a 5K there for Hideo, who popped off yesterday. The Dragon Blades were great, and he gets the pocket the entire time he pops that Dragon Blade. So it's good support play to keep him up as well during those ultimates that are pretty boom or bust. We're at 96%. I don't think there's any way Lords of Cinder touch the objective to close out this round, but hopefully on map number 2, it goes a little bit more in their favor. Ruins is very dive heavy, so I'm not surprised to see Deerfield just engulf Lords of Cinder with just a crazy onslaught to open this game.
I completely agree. I think the dive went fully in the way of Deerfield. They played it so well. They got so aggressive. They knew when to go in and when to hold back. And of course, you had a great support line, making sure that whenever the tank or Hideo got low, the DPS line got low, they were there, healed up, and also just playing around corners, making sure to keep their presence hidden so that Lords of Cinder couldn't find an easy pick on any of that support line. But wow, what an incredible start. And it's kind of looking like what we saw out of Deerfield yesterday, especially against that Phantoms, where they just are looking unstoppable right now.
Yeah, I mean, round 1, it could be an easier game for Deerfield, but round number 2, coming up in the bracket, they're either going to be facing Impact or that Rolling Ronalds team that I was mentioning has a handful of players that have semi-pro or pro experience. So if Deerfield has an easy game, they've definitely got to buckle down and realize that their next opponent is going to be incredibly challenging for them. So they can't take this one, not seriously. They've got to play their A game and get dialed in, because they're trying to go the distance in this tournament. Deerfield's one of our better teams. They came for the prize pool. So if this game's a little easy, they can't imagine the rest of this tournament is going to be easy, because it gets so much tougher after the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I think there is something to be said about resting on your laurels and maybe getting a little bit too overconfident because some of the games are easier. And yes, Deerfield Warriors are looking amazing. They're looking immaculate right now. But like you said, there are a lot of really other amazing and high-level teams out there that they can't just get complacent with their play style right now. They can't just, oh, hey, we're doing awesome so far in the tournament. No one can stop us. Because that hubris might be their downfall. But at least for right now, they are fully in control of this matchup against the Lords of Cinder.
She's just trying to work their way in. Uni sneaking around the back of the objective now. Ronin and Itis get picked off by the damage dealers on the side of Deerfield. And now there's no healing left to support the rest of the Lords of Cinder. 35% has already been taken by Deerfield, and it continues to tick upwards. And look how they play the fundamentals here, Master Hamster. They set up on the high grounds every single time. It makes engaging with this dive comp so easy. And I think that's because either Hideo or Mesmer, one of them is just leading this team vocally, telling them after every single fight, we've got to set up, we've got to find a target, and we've got to pounce the second we realize they're vulnerable.
Yeah, I was just about to mention their target selection is so good. They all focus on one person and then move to the next and then the next. You just see these teams very quickly get taken apart because they just keep losing members one after another. But Mesmer's actually going to fall off the map and might be danger for Deerfield. but not just yet as the blade comes through, and then there's the rest of the team. Lords of Cinders falls down shortly after. I thought maybe without their tank, without Mesmer, that Deerfield may be in a little bit of a sticky situation, but regardless, Hideo is there, the support line was there, Reckless was there. They just kept going.
Yeah, it seems like if Hideo has a Dragon Blade, you can count on him to get it done. That was the second big blade we've seen of the game, and now we're in the final 10 seconds. If Lords of Cinder don't get the objective back in their favor, they're already down 2 members, make it 3 as Ronin falls to Mesmer, who's back in the fray, Primal raging right now. Uni and Cheese are going to try and contest here, but it's going to be short-lived. It's just a 5 versus 2 in the favor of Deerfield, and it is just a matter of time before we head to Hybrid for map 2.
Wow, that was very fast. One of the quickest Ilios matches that I think I've seen. Just a breakdown of Deerfield just playing so well. Hideo, of course, going to get this play of the game. It's either the blade from match 1 or the blade from match 2. Really take your pick, and it's a blade from match 1.
Oh, that was so clean from Hideo, too. The one slice onto 3 members of Lords of Cinder. He just had him sheepdogged right where he wanted him. That was a lot of fun to watch. But that was actually the first time that we've seen Deerfield play where Mesmer didn't get the play of the game. Hideo finally stole one away. Mesmer had all 4 play of the games in the Deerfield matches yesterday, so it's nice to see a fresh face there.
You know, I think at least for this matchup, right, Mesmer was playing very fundamentally strong, very just good all around, but nothing super flashy. Hideo here coming out with these blades, really kind of showing off a little bit, being a little flashy with it. You know, like you said, hitting 3 players with 1 slash of the blade, really going for that play of the game. I'm sure there's a little bit of a rivalry in between the 2 of them, trying to see like, hey, who can get the most plays of the game, who can really show off the most here. And I mean, Deerfield Warriors coming out to play. They are not messing around at all. What an amazing Ilios. And next we have Hybrid. I don't even know what to expect at this point.
Yeah, and like Bearlight was saying before we jumped into this game, is this Deerfield team, all of their members are seniors. So if you're a recruiter looking at them, well, you can look up and down the lineup. I know we talk about Hideo and Mesmer a ton, but the rest of this team, Reckless, Ponch, Mookie, they're all stellar players. I mean, this team clicks as a unit. It's really not just the Mesmer and Hideo show. They're only able to do what they do because they get great support behind them. Reckless on the hit scan, the long-range DPS is able to hold down the fort in the backline, peeling for those supports so that Mesmer and Hideo can just be so enabled. So this team is a unit. They click on all cylinders, and I bet if they were in your program, they'd be able to develop some chemistry pretty quick. These players seem like they fit into a group very well.
I completely agree. I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, we talk a lot about these really star-studded players who are on the front lines going crazy, getting all the kills, but they wouldn't be able to do this if they didn't have an amazing backline to support them. I feel like in Overwatch 2, just in general, we don't talk about the supports enough. A very difficult role. There's a lot of pressure on you to be doing a lot of healing while also doing a little bit of damage and also just being really wiggly all around. And so the longer that you're able to stay alive as a support player, just the more you're able to do. Obviously, you can say that about any roles, but I think in support in general, it's just very specific that you need to stay alive for a long period of time so you can keep healing your team. And I think we've seen that of Mookie and Ponch just being very wiggly, able to stay alive, able to use their corners, their positioning, and able to just keep healing up their team, stay alive, make sure that their frontliners are enabled to go ham, to go crazy.
Wiggly is actually a pretty good word to describe Ponch's play too, because yesterday Ponch was on Lucio and was just in the backline, speed boosting off walls, going for kills, trying to get active in the damage dealing role of support, not just but Ponch really likes to go for it. And then Mookie really just kind of does most of the enabling for Mesmer, Hideo, and Reckless. It seems like those 2 have very distinct roles. Everyone on this team has a niche that they fit into for this 5-player squad, and they all fill out those roles very well.
Yeah, I really like how the squad just kind of clicks together in general, right? You have one DPS that is super aggro, one DPS that sits back, one support player that's super aggro, and one support player that sits back. They kind of complement each other with their play style, and really able to kind of fit together like Lego pieces, fill in where the shortcomings are, and really accentuate what they're really good at as well.
Yeah, and I hope when we get over to Hybrid, we do see Lords of Cinder start to have some playmakers coming to the fray. This one might be just like a ranked skill kind of mismatch of a game to start in the quarterfinals. That is kind of how quarterfinals go sometimes because you have higher seeds versus lower seeds. But as we get into this bracket, we're definitely going to see Deerfield with some very viable opponents, especially coming up in the semifinals. Especially, I mean, they're going to be facing either Impact or Rolling Ronalds, and those two teams are great. I've got some notes on the Rolling Ronalds, and they're a team. I think they're the favorite in that game, but they will give Deerfield a run for their money if they get a clean win over Lords of Cinder 2-0 here. But it looks like for Hybrid, we're headed back to Eichenwald. We saw Deerfield play this yesterday. You said that Mesmer was on the Sigma, kind of owning. I don't think he died one time that game. So if Lords of Cinder can take him down just once, they'll have a better run at this map than Phantoms.
Yeah, I mean, if you watched the stream yesterday, if you saw what they did on Eichenwald yesterday, you would be a little bit worried, I think. I mean, Deerfield just looks so comfortable on this map. I mean, they captured the point in less than 30 seconds against the Phantoms when they were on attack, and then on defense, they didn't even let Phantoms get on the point. They didn't even let them get a tick. So, a scary team to be on Eichenwald, but I mean, I think we've seen a lot of great things out of the Lords of Cinder as well. Obviously, they're still in that kind of phase of trying to figure out how to break through Deerfield. We saw them switching around a lot. There's a lot of versatility in their playstyle, and I'm hoping in maybe a little bit more of a hybrid map, they'll be able to really show off their main roster and really show off what they can do and maybe break through this Deerfield Warriors.
It's really hard to find a target that you want to actually isolate on Deerfield because they're so mobile with the Winston and the Genji and the Lucio. They're all over the place and they're hard to catch up to. But I feel like on Eichenwald, if they're going to play the Sigma, something a little more stationary, you have a much better chance at actually kind of isolating a target and just going for a clean kill onto them. Mesmer does look to be right on the Winston, reckless on the Genji, at least in the spawn in the locker room, as I like to call it before the game. Lords of Cinder, they're setting up a more brawly comp. So what I want them to do is honestly just try and run straight into some target that doesn't have a movement ability. That might be the Sojourn. That could be Ponch if he finds himself out of position. It could be Mesmer the second after he lands from a jump. But there are these moments of weakness for these heroes that have movement right after they use that cooldown where the Lords of Cinder comp can actually shine and try and confirm a kill.
Yeah, I completely agree. I was kind of laughing a little bit when you said, they need to take down a target that doesn't have a movement ability, and then looking over at Deerfield Warriors and like, oh, they all have movement ability. They're all very mobile. I do like what we're seeing out of Lords of Cinder here. They're taking this high ground. They're using this Reinhardt to the advantage, and Winston already jumping in, trying to take this Sojourn down, and like that, Idas gets taken down, the Sojourn gets taken down, and the Ana gets taken down, and that's the team right there. Lords of Cinder only basically have this Reaper left, who is just going to do their best, but won't be enough. It's a 1v4 at this point, and with that, they practically have the point already.
Yeah, and the thing that Deerfield does so well is, one, obviously they focus the same target, but it's the target order that they're focusing. First, it's the Mercy, then it's the Ana, then it's the Sojourn, and last, it's the tank or the Reaper. Those targets that are the hardest to kill or have the easiest time defending themselves against a dive, that's who they target last, right away. It's the Sojourn, it's the Mercy, it's the Ana. They all fall in quick fashion because this Deerfield comp knows that they can get away with an easy dive on them if they're not peeled for it.
They are able to pick up one pick here on Mookie, but again, like you said, the target focus is so good, making sure that those healers are down, and then everyone else is just easy pickings after that. Uni will get taken down. We do see Uni kind of separated from the team a lot, because like you said, Reaper, one of those more difficult characters to lock down and really get rid of. They can be a little bit of a thorn in your side when it comes to these kind of games. Mesmer again finding the healers on Lords of Cinder, followed by both DPS, and with that, Deerfield is just moving forward. No signs of slowing down or stopping at this point.
Yeah, Deerfield is just continuing to buzz. They're clicking on all cylinders just like they were yesterday, and their head coach, Coach Metal, says that Mesmer is one of the best leaders that he's ever coached. And I think that's why some of that target prioritization is just so clean on this team, because whatever Mesmer says, this team has full trust in him. Look at that disruptor shot from Reckless, just closing off that doorway, finds both of the supports. Hideo goes in with the blade to cut up two, and it's another clean fight for Deerfield. This team just dissects every single time they go into a fight.
And I think that fight in particular was just very heavily based on positioning. We saw Cheese go out a little bit aggressive, trying to make some space with the D.Va, but didn't realize the positioning of Deerfield Warriors, left the team alone, basically. And with that, they all fell without their tank. And then eventually the tank was taken out. But again, it's all about positioning, all about where the Deerfield Warriors hide and where they position themselves.
And right now, staging on the high ground as well. They always know how to get up to the high grounds, how to open up opportunities onto the back line as Mesmer goes in and takes down Itis to start. Once again, it's the Mercy that falls first, followed by the other support in Ronin. Now there's really nothing left to keep Lords of Cinder alive through these final 10 meters of Eichenwald. The payload is nearly to the finish line with a ton of time on the clock. Deerfield just had a flawless round of Overwatch to open up Eichenwald.
They couldn't even leave spawn. Mesmer was just standing in front of spawn doors. They couldn't go anywhere. Wow. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Like you said, kept him from leaving spawn. There's two things that'll stop you from playing Overwatch. It's a bad internet service provider, and it's Mesmer in your spawn with Primal Rage.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Mesmer just being a barricade at that point. No one could even get out to stop the payload because Mesmer was just in the way. But of course, great healing from the support line on Deerfield Warriors, able to keep Mesmer alive, able to allow these sort of antics where Mesmer can just stand in front of the door and go full monkey mode. I mean, yeah, it's an uphill battle for Lords of Cinder. We'll have to see what they can do here. Maybe they can get some good picks. We do see Uni hovering over that Widowmaker. Perhaps there's going to be an attempt to try to pick out someone like Ponch early on and open up the ability for Lord Cinder to just kind of get onto the point, make some space, and start doing their thing. But I mean, this is basically the comp that we saw out of Deerfield Warriors yesterday, and it's rough. It's looking like an uphill battle. It's looking like a mountain to climb for the Lords of Cinder. We'll have to see what they can do here.
I hope they get something done. If they can find a couple of kills or even take the first point, that's a huge win in my eyes for Lords of Cinder. This is clearly a little bit of a mismatch here, and we do see that sometimes in quarterfinals in the opening round of a tournament, but college esports is a wide open home that's incredibly inclusive, right? Like, I work with the NECC. We have divisions all the way from bronze and silver rank all the way up to the very best grandmasters. Like, I know Illinois State, the Redbirds, they're like the best, literally the best semi-pro team that's not in the Overwatch League. And then you have the bulk of college esports, which is much lower ranked. Pablito gets a kill right there. That is the first kill of the game for Lords of Cinder. What a time. What a time for it to happen. Mesmer still cleans up the fight, but right now, Master Hamster, I'm looking for Lords of Cinder to get a couple of kills, find some target prioritization. If they get the first point, that's a huge dub for them.
Yeah, now honestly, I think it was great target prioritization, target focus, right? They took down Hideo, and I think that's exactly who they need to be focusing. Obviously, it's going to be difficult when they have a Mercy that can just res him, but Hideo does so much damage on that Hanzo. If you can take him out of the fight, you can make some space for yourself. As we see here, Hideo getting that pick onto Cheese, who's trying that Ramatra, which, by the way, love that character. A really interesting pick. I feel like has kind of a niche spot in the meta, so I'd love to see that teams are experimenting more. But what a great lift, and that is Lords of Cinder immediately taken out with that beautiful lift there.
Yeah, and we saw Mesmer run the Sigma on defense just because he can throw up that shield and frontline right at the spawn, just like he was doing yesterday against Phantoms. This team played exactly the same against Phantoms, and they know they're able to do it again today. We've seen some good changes come into Lords of Cinder, and they're coming out of the spawn as a unit. They're making it harder for Deerfield to take them down, but Deerfield, they're just so good at finding those weak targets on the side of Lords of Cinder. Mesmer rolling in, just ignoring Cheese on the front line, going for all of these kills. Hideo sends in the Dragon Strike, and it takes down Ronin, and then it's going to be the Railgun to dice up Pablito. And once again, it is going to be Lords of Cinder sent packing, but Cheese finds another kill for the side of Lords of Cinder.
They're finding some picks. It's just not enough, and I do like that they're grouping up, but when they group up, they're very single target healers. Just have a trouble to heal them up. When we look here, it's a lot of members on side of Lords of Cinder just taking a lot of damage, and the Mercy can't heal it up fast enough. The BAP can only heal up so much. Although it's a lot, it's just they're eating so much damage that they can't heal it all up. But a kill?
Another kill, nice ult there from Cheese, used it at a proper time, but Deerfield kind of disengaged, and then they hit the gas once again. Once that ultimate was over, it looked like Mookie was on a flank there with a sleep dart and an anti-nade to take down Cheese, and now we're into the final minute. Deerfield still pretty much holding the spawn right now, Master Hamster, and it might stay this way. But Lords of Cinder, this is a better defense than they had. They found no eliminations on defense. I believe they found 4, but unfortunately, they're still just all right next to spawn.
I think they did find 1 kill on defense. I believe they took out Mookie once on defense. But yeah, they found more kills on the attack here. They have been able to make a little bit of space for themselves. But again, like we said before, this is looking like we saw out of yesterday, where they're just getting spawn trapped. They can't get out. They can't really get any of these kills. Oh, a couple of shots, and we are going to see Pablito take down Hideo, and this is an opportunity maybe, as Ponch does get that res, and I spoke too soon. Mesmer's going to finish him off.
We saw Idis throw in the premature GG with 20 seconds to play, just because they probably knew that Deerfield had a ton of ultimates to burn too, and there was a lot of ground to cover between spawn and the objective, and a lot of ultimates that stood in their way. But that has got to do it. Deerfield is going to move on to the semifinals, where they'll face either Impact or Rolling Ronalds. One of those, it doesn't matter which one it is, they're going to be a very formidable opponent for this Deerfield squad. So I'm looking forward to see if Deerfield can push through the challenging semis and make it into our finals, or if they will meet their match. Finally, they are undefeated 3-0 on stream for this event. It's been an incredible performance. Master Hamster, I mean, hats off to Deerfield, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah, hats off to them. They have been playing lights out, incredible gameplay. Lords of Cinders, they did their best. They really gave it the old college try, if you will. But, I mean, like you said, a little bit of a mismatch. Deerfield just looking unstoppable. They looked like they could not be touched in that matchup. So I am really excited to see how the semifinals shake up, especially because, like you said, the teams that are going to make it into the semifinals are nothing to scoff at. They are definitely bringing in their own weight. They're bringing in their own guns. And I think from here on out, Deerfield will have a little bit more of a difficult time in making it through. But for right now, 3-0 throughout the days. Yesterday, they went massive. Today, they're going crazy. We'll have to see how it shakes up.
And for Lords of Cinder, I mean, like I was saying in the middle of this game, college esports is a home that is wide open to all ranks of players. Deerfield might be more toward the top of those ranks, but I was saying this yesterday on the stream too. Like, I was a baseball player in college. By no means a Division I baseball player, but I loved the game and I played in college. The fact that the Lords of Cinder players are here today means that they take esports seriously and they want to play in a collegiate program. Not all of them are toward the top of the ranks. In fact, the vast majority of them are like platinum, maybe diamond rank. So Lords of Cinder, I'm sure they fit into that bunch very fine. It's just that Deerfield, they're a well-oiled machine with great coaching coming out of high school. This team is dialed into play at the top of college esports. But if you're Lords of Cinder, stick with it, stay serious about it, and you're going to find a home in college esports.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, there are so many levels in collegiate, as well as just people who want to play collegiate, but they also want to be a part of something bigger. They want to build programs. And that's what a lot of these esport collegiate programs are looking for, are people that not only just want to play the game, but also want to expand and help grow programs, help grow esports, and just the community that surrounds it. So I'm sure Lords of Cinders will find a place that they truly belong, because, man, they are good. It's just when put up against a team like Deerfield, ooh, what can you do?
There's not much you can do. There really isn't. Just kind of unlucky draw. You're facing the final boss at the very first level of the game, it seems. Deerfield is just unstoppable right now. We'll see if they meet their match in the semifinals. We're going to have those coming up just after this short break. Stick around.
welcome back to Carry2College Winter 2023. Again, my name is Bearlight, your host, alongside my co-host, Owen, as well as we got to see Deerfield do what they do best. In the first day, they were dominant. In day number 2, the same trend continues.
It was impressive to say the least. Seeing the Hideo and Mesmer combos, the Sigma and the Hanzo, it was just great gameplay all around.
You got to imagine that since we're going to hear an interview recorded yesterday with Mesmer later on in this broadcast, it's probably positive vibes seeing as he came in today with that head of steam. So that's going to be awesome to watch. But in the meantime, we have a player interview right now and congratulating Mr. WASD Taylor for his commitment to Concord University. Taylor, welcome to the stream. We appreciate you being here.
Appreciate you guys having me on.
Absolutely. Olin, I'll let you start off with the questions.
Yeah, man, thanks for coming on. We were just wanting to dive in a little bit. And how'd you discover Spin?
So I discovered Spin, actually a teammate of mine from last year who's also at Concord University. Kind of introduced me, connected me with some of the guys there, and then it was kind of go from there, create a profile, and everything just started happening.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Cool. So what's one thing you've learned about your play style in the past year or so that you think you've improved on, and you're proud of to bring on to Concord University?
Yeah, I think the thing that's contributed most to my personal growth with Rocket League is the Stay Plugged In LANs that I've been a part of. I've been a part of 2 of them. Playing that level of competition is you can't really compare anything to it. And, between that and just bonding with my teammates and team chemistry, just being a team player, that's the thing I look forward to taking.
Yeah, it's a very important thing to have, is to have a team around you, right? And so I wanted to talk about your experience at JCC. That was one of the lands that at least I got to meet you at. I know that you helped out to set everything up. You also competed in that land. And in addition, you even got in the casting booth, too. So a jack of all trades, if you will. Talk a little bit about that that LAN experience that you had at JCC, but also a little bit about what you learned from your time at JCC.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward. Everything was set to go. All you guys got there, and everything was set up in a couple hours. You can tell that you guys are bona fide professionals and know what you're doing. And given the opportunity to play there and cast, I casted some Valorant games, which was very fun. Just being able to experience all parts of the production and playing side of those lands are, there's no experience like it. As far as JCC, they're really a second home for me. Anytime I'm not, at my own home, I'm here in the lab just looking to get better. And they fully supported me and the program. And I couldn't be more proud of this college. They give a lot to their students, sports athletes. I just appreciate the administration and all the people that support us.
And talk about that's great. Obviously JCC preparing you for the next step forward, and the next step is Concord University. What did you see in that school, and what was that conversation and experience like when you're chatting with them in order to enter their program and contribute to them?
Yeah, so like I said, my teammate for the semesters my freshman year ended up going to Concord, and we had great chemistry. We were he's my best friend. He's
nice.
He's a brother, if anything. So I just wanted to be there with him and continue the success. We were one of the most successful programs in junior college while we were here, and I want to carry that on to Concord. And that esports director there, Austin, he pitches a good game, and any way that I can get my education paid for and enjoy playing the game that I've played for, my gosh, it's been many years now, 7 years, 7, 8 years, something like that. But I'm old, so I'll be 25 tomorrow. So I'm I'm the senior citizen on the block. But yeah, going there to build a program and finish out my education, that's the biggest thing to me. And just continue to get better, get 1% better every day. That's the big thing.
Yeah, number one, happy early birthday. What a weekend it's been for you then.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
That's incredible. And number two, the new C2C, you're going to carry that to Concord. So I also noticed that too. I had to point that out too. So Olin, I'll toss that over to you for the next question here.
That was a good play on words there. No, yeah, you hit on it earlier, Taylor. You're bringing that veteran gameplay style, and I'm sure you're excited to bring that over to Concord. But what's another trait you're bringing? Maybe it's on the academic side or the play style side as well that you're bringing that you think kind of sets you apart from a different game style.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the, of course, like I said, I'm older, so I actually took a break before I went back to college, which just continues to point to the route that Stay Plugged In has played. And to anybody that plays collegiate esports or wants to, like, there's no correct path to get where you are, and those things you're going to carry with you. I've worked in big teams and things like that, and of course, like production stuff on back end. I'm not like a live broadcaster type deal, like a master with words like some people here. But setting up the program, especially at Concord, through production, graphic design, stuff like that. Other hobbies I've had for years that are going to contribute to just building the program and improving everyone around me. That's a big thing. If I can leave a lasting impact somewhere, like I'm doing here at GCC, and how what I look to do at Concord, that's a big thing for me. I just want to leave a legacy, if you could say.
No, that's a great mindset to carry through, and I commend you for it, because not a lot of players have that mindset. No, man, we just thank you for coming on and appreciate your professionalism and wish you all the best in the future.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. Like I've said, Stay Plugged In. You guys have worked wonders for me. You guys have been life-changing for me, and I couldn't thank you guys enough. You guys are all great. Everybody behind the scenes, everybody that participates in putting these events on, I couldn't be more thankful for you guys. And I'll make sure to tag people on Twitter for Stay Plugged In, and I always do.
And we'll tag you for sure to say congratulations again, Taylor. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
Yeah, no problem. You guys have a good one.
Hey, you too, man. Awesome stuff from WASD Taylor, getting involved in so many different ways, Olin, from, like we said, the casting booth, and maybe that's not going to be his go-to on a regular basis, though he did a great job. Obviously, being that age and going back to school as well is an important point, because really these opportunities are open to anybody who's interested in collegiate opportunities. Obviously, it's a little bit more natural to go straight from high school into like maybe a 4-year program, but that doesn't mean that has to be the way. It wasn't for me. It wasn't necessarily for Taylor either, but it seems to be working out just fine for him, and he sounds stoked.
Absolutely, yeah. The non-traditional pathway is there, and it's open. And I think you hit it on the nail on the head earlier with just being a jack of all trades. Like Taylor was saying, he had the production background, he had the casting background, as well as the game skill to compete in college. And a lot of programs are looking for those extra resources and anything they can use to bolster their program better. And that's what Taylor was saying. Anything that he can do to add value to the program and create a longer, long-lasting impression at whether it's Concord University, or I'm sure he's done great things at Johnston Community College as well. That's what his mind is focused on, and can't praise him enough for that.
Exactly. That's what colleges are looking for, somebody who wants to figure out how they can contribute in a multitude of ways. Speaking of somebody else who's also doing it the correct way and looking to improve on their own abilities, Sheridan sat down with another member of Stay Plugged In, a.k.a. a recruit from Stay Plugged In, Spider Checks. And so let's listen in and see what he had to say about his journey.
My name is Amarian Smith. My gamer tag as of right now is SpiderChecksYT. I currently play Rocket League. I'm looking into getting into Overwatch. My school I go to is Reach Cyber Charter, and that's pretty much it.
Awesome. And so how did that last match go for your team and like your matches overall today?
Our last match was did way better than we did in our first two, but still think that like we need to since we met like a day, maybe 2 days ago, we still need to like work on chemistry and such. Once we get that down, I could see us flying through.
Yeah, absolutely. And so how has the Carry2College event been as a whole so far?
As a whole, I've liked it. Like, this is like one of the coolest experiences I've ever had with like some type of like fair type. Well, like back in like middle school for like a high school fair, it wasn't like this, but for it to be a college fair that's like this is just like.
Yeah, and have you been did you attend the 2 college fair sessions? How did that go?
They told me that they would reach back out to me, and they were also like not introducing. Well, they were introducing themselves. What they've done at their school, players who they have had at their school, and like when they started up their esports camps, their graphic designing camps, and stuff like that. I just thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and are you looking to pursue college esports?
Yes.
And what are you looking for in a program, or like an esports program, or in a school in general?
Somewhere close, like maybe 2-3 hours away, and has an esports team and a graphic designing major and business.
Yeah, absolutely. Is graphic design, I was going to ask, is graphic design your passion? You know, the meme, but is graphic design something you're super into?
Something that I want to get into, since I am a content creator, and I just don't want to like go around paying people to do stuff for me. I'd like to do it on my own.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's a super important trait to have, especially if you're a content creator. And so, what would you say sets you apart as a recruit? Is it your GPA? Is it your play style? Anything like that?
I'd say, because I think my GPA is like a 3.6 right now.
It's pretty good.
But I think it would be more on my work ethic.
Yeah.
Like even if I play against like the highest ranked person in the world, still push myself to try my best to score at least one goal on that person.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've talked to a lot of college coaches and asked them for advice and stuff, and they always say it doesn't even matter if you're winning all your matches. It's really about the mindset that you bring to the match, and so that's super important. You know, always trying your best and trying your hardest and getting that one goal on them. That's super important. And like, what are you looking forward to for the rest of the event?
For the rest of the event, looking to get at least one win with these guys.
Yeah.
At least one.
Yeah.
And I'm also looking to get a response from any of the colleges that I've talked to today.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are good goals. Good goals.
It's crazy, Olin. Every single individual has a different and unique story that they'll love to share and what they're looking for, but at the same time, it's the same opportunity that they're after. So you see so many similarities and so many differences on everything that these recruits have to say. And for me, Spider Checks, it just hits the heart, right? It's just so wholesome, and just how do I figure out the next steps in the process?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're very passionate and grateful for Spider Checks on sharing his story and taking the time with us to kind of develop and bolster his recruiting process and competing in Carry2College. We can't say thank you enough, as well as just best wishes, man.
Definitely. Again, C2C is the recruitment experience that you're looking for. Again, visit staypluggedin.gg to check us out and what we do on a regular basis. But we have Overwatch 2 semifinals coming up now. All of these teams have earned themselves $250 by making the semifinals alone, but they're looking to double that now by making the finals here in just a bit. The semifinals matchup that we'll be covering now is MCEA Elite, and they're facing off with Roland Ronalds here on this one. Old Charge and Master Hamster, take it away.
All right, thank you guys. In the semifinals, this is when it starts to really get exciting. Like Bear said, these players are all in the money now, and the prize pool only gets better from here. You're trying to get to the final. You're trying to win the final. And Master Hamster, these are teams that they don't just have elite high school experience. A lot of them have elite open division experience. We've got some players who were coached by professional coaches. Like I know a few of these players on MCEA Elite Team, they were coached by John_ on Twitter. If you're in the Overwatch Twitter, you know who that is. If you're not, he coached a contenders team for like 5 years at this point. Started out with XL2, New York Excelsior's semi-pro team, and he's done it ever since. So these players have pro coaching. They're very coachable. They want to take collegiate esports as seriously as they have the early part of their careers. Master Hamster, let's get straight into it. This one punches up from the last game we saw.
It really does. I mean, yeah, we can say from the last one that we saw in the quarterfinals, it was a little bit of a one-sided battle. This should be a lot closer. I will say, though, when it comes to looking at these teams, both of these teams have actually come from the same open play group. They're both from the group C, and they've actually played each other before already, with Rolling Ronalds getting the better of that engagement. So it is a little bit of a rematch situation happening here, and I think that makes it even more interesting to see. Will the Rolling Ronalds continue to keep rolling through to the finals, or will the elite team be able to stop them and bring themselves the revenge that they needed and into the finals, into more money?
Yeah, this one is bound to be incredibly close. This one could actually go the distance, could go all 3 maps. We're going to start out on Lijiang Tower. Night Market, in fact, is going to be our very first point played on this control map. I believe this one goes all 3 points of Lijiang Tower. As we start to get into it, you can see that MCA Elite team, they're going to be our blue team, and then Rolling Ronalds, they're going to be our red team to kick things off here.
Well, I'm excited. I love Lijiang. It's one of my favorite maps. I think it's just a classic that people always come back to. We are going to see maybe a sim start come out from at least one of these teams. And interestingly enough, the tanks, we sometimes see a little bit of a mirror matchup, but the tanks are extremely different, where we have Ronin on the ball and Deep Sea Diver on that Orisa. So this could be very interesting as we get into round number 1. We do have that sim teleport strat, not quite up to where I thought they were going to, but at least it allows them to get on the point very quickly.
Yeah, and Rolling Ronalds, they're running what a lot of people would consider to be the hard meta with the Orisa, Sojourn, Kiriko, Lucio, and the Tracer. Fly manning the helm on that one. This is a composition that can hold down the fort so well with Orisa, taking so much damage. A lot of players think that she's unkillable, and then Deep and Fly can just go and activate these flanks and try and do the precision damage that Rolling Ronalds need to actually capitalize on these kills. Deep goes right in with that Sojourn slide, picks off the backline and YT and Scarfy, and just like that, it's going to be 8% and upticking for RR.
Yeah, and they are in the driver's seat right now. They're in a perfect position. Like you said, they can really just dig in their heels now with that Orisa. Oh, they have to be careful with the ball on the flank. Gonna be able to knock up a couple of the players, but Ronin has to be so careful. Might get caught out here. Will get that big pack. And again, this fight is so split up. It's so separated. Really thanks to Ronin on the ball, just being a nuisance in the back line.
Yeah, and I wouldn't expect to see Ronin stick on the Wrecking Ball the entire duration of this game, especially if RR is going to continue to play this comp, because it's dislodged for a second, but Sojourn can slide right back in. Fly is almost never dislodged. Deep Sea Diver, they can just kind of fortify through those Wrecking Ball boops. So I wouldn't expect to see this composition stay the entire time, but getting a little bit of work here is certainly fine to open up on Night Market. Night Market's one of the stronger Wrecking Ball maps, but right now he might not be the strongest hero in the game.
Yeah, I feel like Hammond has really been struggling to find exactly where he fits out in the composition for Overwatch 2. I think there are specific times that you can play him, but he just is still looking for his home. We did see Ronin play ball when they were playing against the last team that they were playing against on Eichenwald, so we do know that Ronin is very competent on this ball, but like you said, there are a lot of characters on the Rolling Rollins squad that just kind of don't get as disrupted as maybe another composition or a team would by that Wrecking Ball.
We're going to have Ronin with the Wrecking Ball minefield online here, trying to throw it in the back of the point to just, separate the fight a little bit, but very quickly Rolling Ronalds come right up into the front line, right into the courtyard of this objective, and they clean up the damage dealers on the side of MCEA Elite. And just like that, this fight could be done and dusted. Ronin doing all in his power to keep this one alive as the overtime wick burns. Ronin falls, and MCEA Elite is going to be taking round number 1. Or I'm sorry, Rolling Ronalds is going to be taking round number 1.
Rolling Ronalds taking round number 1, and I mean, we saw the differences in how the ultimates were used, specifically that Kitsune rush, right? Rolling Ronalds were able to get a beautiful Kitsune rush that was able to change the fight, and unfortunately, when MCEA Elite used their Kitsune rush, it just didn't have the same effect. The rest of the team was taken down before they could really utilize how awesome the Kitsune rush ultimate is. And I think the ult usage and ult timing is going to be the difference maker, especially in this game where we see some very impactful ultimates and some of them going the distance and doing what they need to, and some of them falling short a little bit.
Yeah, just a hair. And we are going to see Ronan continue to play the wrecking ball here. Not sure if it is the move, but we saw this yesterday with Deerfield where they were kind of living by the sword, dying by the sword, trying to play their best heroes and just make it work, trying to figure out the puzzle with a difficult piece in your hands. Ronan got to be sticking on it. See if they can do some more effective tanking this time around. That's not going to work, though. Deep with the railgun and Deep Sea Diver with the javelin. Hit him to the wall. Hit the easy crit damage there for the kill. And it should be another Rolling Ronald's first take here. YT does find that headshot kunai on the fly, but it's not going to be enough.
That was almost poetic timing with you being like, oh, maybe the wrecking ball will work, and then Ronan exploding, disappearing instantly. So they will be switching up here onto the Winston. I think this is a better pickup. The ball just wasn't getting or going the distance that they needed it to. Right now, though, the Winston, even struggling to get in, does get booped a little bit on the jump, and now in an awkward situation, we do see a pick onto Deep, though. This is the opportunity that Elite may need. They get a boop as well. Awkward situation. Ronan will stay alive just a little bit longer.
Oh, no. Oh, Ronan tried to jump up to the roof and slide back down and stay alive, but unfortunately fell into the pits of despair. Still, though, it is going to be MCA Elite kept alive by their damage dealers trying to find some kills, but no ground is easy to find in this game. Deep Sea Diver finally does take down Scarfy, and I do believe Rolling Ronald is going to be holding on to this objective for now, as this Orisa just cannot be killed.
That javelin on the Pharah, oh my goodness. Yeah, the Rolling Ronald's team is looking so strong right now. MCEA Elite just cannot get in. They are trying their best. We see them touch the point for a little bit longer, but even when they get kills, even when they get that first pick, they're not able to finish off the fight. And unfortunately, the Rolling Rollins just are able to sustain longer, stay alive for a little bit longer, and take these longer and more drawn-out team fights.
And I do want to point out that Deep, the player we're spectating right now, used to be an open division main tank. They've since just turned to a DPS player because their mechanics were too cracked to stay on tank for too long. They discovered that, oh, I'm a Sojourn God. I should be playing this hero. I want to play this hero at an elite level. So Deep has transitioned roles in the last year and has been stellar ever since doing so.
Yeah, perfectly exemplified by that quick 3K that we saw there. Very unfortunate, very awkward. The Lucio doesn't make the jump and ends up dying. This, we might see MCEA get this point. Ronan does get a kill here, and they are just trying to hold. Do see Primal Rage get popped as well as beat onside of Rolling Rollins. They are holding it 99% for Rolling Rollins. Even if they lose this fight, oh no, what happened there?
These koi fish have been so well fed here in round number 2. It's been ridiculous. The point is almost flipped over to the side of MCEA Elite. We've got a 1 versus 1 duel here between some Tracers. Deep is now in for some reinforcements for Rolling Ronalds. Can they get it done? Overtime burns down quick. Kita can't touch in time. And just like that, it is a 2-0 victory on Lijiang Tower for Rolling Ronalds.
Wow, that was very hectic, especially at the end there, where it really did look... it did look like we were going to see MCEA Elite at least take the point, but... on the side, we have one Lee Clover getting the play of the game. Just some boops and aggressive Lucio play happening here.
Yeah, that's what you like to see if you're a coach or a recruiter or a support player that can get active on the damage dealing side of that role, not just being a heal bot. We talked about that in the Deerfield game as well. Supports that know how to be a true flex support and get aggressive, get involved on plays, and pick off kills that they're able to find, especially in a 1 versus 1 against a DPS hero. Not an easy thing to do from support. One Leaf Clover got it done there. Thoughts after map number 1, Master Hamster? What are we thinking?
Oh, I think we assumed it was going to be a little bit closer than it has so far. Like we said before, these teams have played each other before, so they do have a little bit of experience on their play style and what they like to do. But this so far has been very one-sided. Rolling Rollins very definitively in charge for both round 1 and round 2 of Lijiang. Perhaps when we move on to hybrid, we might see a little bit different out of this team. I know that we did see MCEA Elite do really well on Eichenwald earlier, so maybe that's where we're going to go. Just something different that will allow them to play their strengths. I think right now, though, on the Ronan on the side of MCEA Elite really wants to play this ball and is kind of just getting shut down anytime the ball wants to engage or do classic ball things. So not sure what they're going to do. I think they need to change up their strategy just a little bit to get back into this game.
Yeah, they were on the Winston toward the end of round 2 on Lijiang Tower. It just seemed like it was a little too late in the game to make that switch. But Ronin has shown that they're fine with switching, even if Wrecking Ball is the hero they wanted to show off their skills today. He doesn't fit in the meta very well right now. Ronin's trying to play for the win, so I think the hero swaps are good. We're going to be going over to Midtown next, maybe Kings Row. It actually looks like it is going to be Kings Row coming up. So not the most dive-centric map, a much more linear game. And I do know that Ronin on the side of Rolling Ronalds, or MCA Elite rather, loves to play Reinhardt, loves to lock it down on Reinhardt. So I'm wondering if that's what they're going to pull out here. Another hero that doesn't fit very well in the meta, but I was looking at Twitter and it seems like that may be his favorite hero of all time. So we'll have to see.
Well, I think that's the beauty of Kings Row, is even if it doesn't fit quite in the meta right now, Kings Row really offers a lot of creativity and freedom for these compositions. The map has been around since Overwatch 1. It's a staple and a fan favorite that really allows a lot of versatility and creativity out of these players. So if they want to do something that's maybe a little off meta or a little bit different, they have that freedom and that availability. So I think it is very possible that we can see a Ryan here, especially, as you said, their favorite hero. Ryan will fit in. They just need to make sure that they have that engage and the disengage with a Lucio or something that will allow this Reinhardt some more mobility than he normally has.
Yeah, and another thing about Kings Row, something we don't have to worry about as much as we did on Lijiang Tower, there's only a very small part of the map where you can actually fall off on their point. We were busy falling off the map on Lijiang Tower. I think there were 4 or 5 players between round 1 and 2 that just went into the pits or went into the koi fish pond. I won't have to worry about that too much on Kings Row.
Yeah, there's really only that last part in near the checkpoint, the third checkpoint in Forge, that they need to worry about falling. So they can be safely on the ground for the most part of this map. As we do get into map number 2, this is a best of 3. So if Rolling Rollins are able to win out here, they will win out 2-0. And make their ways to the finals, which will be a best of 5. So the finals today will be the only best of 5 happening here. But best of 3, everything is on the line right now. MCEA Elite Team needs to put it down. They need to get a win here or they will get shut out.
And I'm liking their composition to start their defense. Kita on the Bastion, Ronin on the Ramatra. This is a long-range poke composition, and with Lesiolate on the Lucio, they could kite around the objective pretty well to avoid damage from Rolling Ronalds, but they've still got to play it well. You can't really play this one on the low ground the entire time. It's going to be more difficult doing that than if you were playing on the high grounds behind you. On the side of Rolling Ronalds, they're sticking with that Orisa, that hard meta comp that everyone is so familiar with in high-level Overwatch. Not sure if they're going to be able to get it done, though, as Deep Sea Diver is trapped in by Ronin, who is already proving to be effective on the new tank Ramatra.
I said this earlier. I love Ramatra. He's such an interesting character to me and has a lot of tools in the kit. From the that ranged attack that he has, but also just does a ton of damage really up close. So a really interesting tank that has very niche parts in the meta that I think can do really well. The ultimate is super annoying and does a lot of damage, so definitely something to look out for, especially as this tank is just building ult charge.
Yeah, I like to call him like an anchor tank, similar to Orisa, can just kind of hold it down, but he also has a shield as well. Deep Sea Diver tries to go in for that kill onto Ronin, but Kita there in Sentry 4 with a ton of burst damage to bring down the tank. Now Rolling Ronalds, it is an even fight 4 versus 4. They want to push in. It's going to take some heavy lifting here from Deep, finding 2 quick kills. Ronin still yet to be taken down. Scarfy gets a trade, but Deep pops the overclock and pops off with 3 kills out of the railgun.
Oh my gosh, I think Deep got every single kill that fight. Finishing it off with that overclock, doing just an amazing job. And we did see the Kiriko just pocketing Deep, making sure Deep would stay alive. And now look at this, they're pushing up, trying to get past this choke point just to make sure that the payload has a little bit of space to move, but Deep Sea Diver's gonna get pushed back and needs to retreat.
And I gotta mention again that Deep used to be a tank player in Open Division, transitioned over to DPS. once they found out just how good they were at Overwatch 2 with one less tank in the fray and being able to play Sojourn. That's their new favorite hero, and they shine bright on it. But here it's Kita shining bright, the mortars raining down, finding a pair of kills. Scarfy and Ronan pick up the third and the fourth. Now the defense is able to hold in one of the stronger spots on Kings Road. Just as the second point Streets phase starts, they get to hold the spawn and then fall back to the archway.
Yeah, Archway is so strong, and yeah, like you said, we can see Elite just pushing up, holding spawn if they want, or just hold this Archway. It's a really tough choke point, and then they also can fall past Bookstore if they want to have a secondary choke point to hold as well. So lots of space. We do see a lot of teams struggle here in particular, just because this hold can be really strong. But I mean, as I'm talking, Deep and Fly going to get a kill of their own, and with that, MCEA Elite just forced to back off.
And Kings Row is one of the better maps for Mei, which is a hero that a lot of players are not familiar against or playing against, at least at this point in Overwatch 2. You don't see her too much in your ranked games, especially with like the current map pools on the ladder. Very open maps. Mei walls are not that effective, but Fly is proving to be a force. These Mei walls are trapping players time after time, and they're finding the kills. But now Ronan gets to come in, has the Ramatra ult ready to go, has to fortify through this damage though in Nemesis form, trying to block off as much as they can. Shinsk finds that kunai headshot onto Scarfy, but Ronan's not done making plays. Finds that elimination onto Deep Sea Diver, and with no tank in front of him, wants to continue this march forward, but the ground is hard to find. Nearing the bookstore, and Ronan pops the ult and starts to go a little bit crazy here. That one may not have been needed, but Ronan was not messing around.
Yeah, I agree. The ultimate may not have been needed, but I like the patience and realizing that if they do use the ultimate here, it'll finish the fight, it'll give them some more time, and it'll just guarantee that hold so that they can hold here at Bookstore, here at these corners. Just make it difficult for the Rolling Ronalds to reset and get back into this fight. But yeah, a very strong ultimate down. We are going to hear that Bastion ultimate get popped. Mei goes into her Icicle. And with that, Rolling Ronalds just need to take a step back and reset.
And Deep popping the overclocked again was so effective on point number one, able to take down Scarfy here to open up the fight. It's a 5 versus 4 in the favor of Rolling Ronalds. Deep Sea Diver coupled with Deep's railgun is able to find that second kill onto Ronan, and this should be the second point finally captured for Rolling Ronalds. Deep just starts to go crazy. That railgun is not as easy to hit as people like to think it is, but Deep makes it look very easy.
Yeah, I know. I know you've mentioned it a couple of times now, but Deep used to be a tank main. What were they?
Mechanics are insane.
Yeah, exactly. What were they maining as tank? Reaper tank? Like, I don't understand. They're just so good on this DPS lineup that it's so hard to imagine them playing anything else.
Yeah, Deep is a showstopper. Has made such a force here on points number 1 and 2. Deep Sea Diver going right in, trying to take down Kita. Kita gets great support though from YT and Leslie Light. But Kita does eventually fall. It is going to be a 1-for-1 trade as we got a 4 versus 4 fight. Deep Sea Diver has the Terror Surge online. Maybe not needing to use it though, as YT popped a great Kitsune Rush to kind of force the fight back in the way of Elite. Still though, this one trading back and forth like crazy. Deep Sea Diver has stayed alive the entire time, but can only live for so long as Kita back in turret form, popping out of it, getting the headshot damage onto them.
Yeah, and we did see the Orisa ultimate come out, was able to group up some of the players, but didn't really have the damage to do much, and they had the speed to get out of the ultimate, really avoid all of that damage. And it was more of just a little bit of an inconvenience. But now going into this next fight, really just the only ultimate online is Ronan, that Ramatra ultimate. We might see Shinsuke on the Rolling Rollins get that Kitsune Rush come up as well, as it does hit. And then the Bastion ultimate is up as well. So there are a couple ultimates, but Shinsuke's going to get taken out early. So that Kitsune Rush not available for this fight. And yeah, Rolling Rollins will just need to back off. I don't think they can take this fight without that ultimate, especially with 3 ultimates on the side of MCEA Elite.
Yeah, with the Kiriko falling, the retreat signal is up, but Fly does actually fall on the way out, so we got some nice stagger kills to kill a little bit more of the clock here for Elite. And this one, much closer than the game we just saw at Lijiang Tower. It seems like Elite have really found their stride.
Yeah, I think that, Control isn't the map for every team, and sometimes it just turns into a roll. here at MCEA Elite, really just showing off their strengths here, showing off the versatility of the players. Like we said, Ronan had other characters in the back. We thought it might be that Reinhardt, but instead this Ramatra going crazy right now.
And both tanks have fallen. Deep Sea Diver and Ronan currently digging themselves out of a grave right now. It's a very even fight going on. It's going to take some ultimates to buy a team back in. And it's going to be the Kitsune Rush for Rolling Rollins as they step right back into this fight. They use a support ultimate. Deep pops a couple of railgun shots that connect. Now they're just meters away from finishing off point 3.
Oh, and the Blizzard and Kitsune Rush does get popped. We also see Orisa ultimate as well, and members of MCEA Elite are falling down. Ronan is taken out as well. Scarfy follows. No one's able to touch point, and we do see the Rolling Rollins complete that map onto King's Row.
It is 3-0, but they got it within the final minute. So that means that if Elite are able to complete this map at all, even if it's with 0 seconds on the clock, they do get that chance to attack in overtime. If it was a minute and 1 second, then you have to finish the map with time. So a little bit of luxury of comfort here for Elite to whittle that clock down on the side of Rolling Ronalds. But still, great job by RR completing the map. We'll see how they set up on defense.
We'll have to see. I think there is a little bit of luxury time, but it also does put the ball completely into MCEA, their court, because they do need to finish this map. They can't get 2 checkpoints. They can't get 2.5. They can't get 1. They need to finish off this map if they want to have a chance of going into that overtime and vying for that map win. And again, this is match point for the Rolling Rollins. So all they need to do is hold MCEA Elite, and they're moving on to the finals.
Yeah, and the prize pool just gets more and more serious. I mean, the more you level up in this tournament, you get to the finals and you're playing for some serious cash. Right now in the semis, you know, if you go home in 3rd or 4th, I mean, you might get to buy your mom dinner. But if you come in 1st place in this tournament, well, you get to buy your whole family a very nice meal. That prize pool gets pretty fast as we move up in this bracket.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, money is on the line. These players are fantastic, and they just want to show off their skills more and more. And I think we are just going to see that. Looking like just similar comps to what we've seen. I don't think there are any changes, actually. Gonna see this Ramatra again on the attack and the Orisa on the defense. Yeah, I think Ramatra does struggle a little bit with really getting in. Same with the Orisa. They kind of play very similar roles, but Ronan will find Deep, and that is the opening pick that Elite needs to get into this game.
And Deep's been so good this game. Might have just taken down the most crucial member on this Rolling Ronald squad. And with that, it's the green light. Go, a signal here for MCEA Elite. They steamroll onto point 1. This team looks fantastic right now in their attack, wasting absolutely no time to collect the first objective on King's Row.
Wow, that was so fast. The first push, they're able to get through, break through, and like you said, taking out possibly the most important member on the Rolling Rollins, Deep, who has been having an amazing day so far. Taking them out has really allowed them so much more space and just influence on the map here. They're less worried about getting taken out by the Sojourn. We are going to see Shinsuke pull out that Kitsune Rush, trying to make something happen, but a great fallback from MCEA Elite, just disengaging here, not really allowing them to get too much out of this ultimate.
No, YT on this side of MCEA Elite just did such a fantastic job supporting Ronan. Was javelin straight back to the payload, had Kitsune Rush burst damage right in his face, but got a fantastic protection Suzu from YT. And then after that, MCEA Elite just explode out of the archway, collecting all 5 kills on the side of Rolling Ronalds, and they're starting to march this payload down towards second point.
This is starting to look a little scary, I think. I mean, MCEA Elite have not slowed down. They've not stopped on their payload push at this point. They are just moving forward. They have 4 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. They have so much time. If they're able to keep up this pace, we are certainly looking at an overtime that is heavily favoring MCEA Elite.
And the mortars start to fall from the sky here as Kita is able to zone a lot of Rolling Ronalds back and put him in an uncomfortable spot, and still we have MCEA Elite with ultimates to burn. The Ramatra ult, Scarfy's overclock, Leziolite's sound barrier, all of them are about to be invested. Deep Sea Diver comes up empty with that Terror Surge, really hoping that Rolling Ronalds was going to find some key value with that. Instead, they're going to have to burn this sound barrier from one Leaf Clover. That's enough to find the kill in the front line onto Ronan, but with the tanks traded out, it's still anyone's fight. And MCEA Elite, they want to buy back in. Scarfy pops the overclock, slides right into the front line, trying to find as many kills as they can. This is a desperation attempt to get the second point with a ton of time.
Oh, man. And again, we still keep seeing these trades happen. Lucio for Lucio. The Scarfy will get taken down. Rolling Rollins do have a little bit of an advantage here. YT staying alive is able to get out, but just barely. And Rolling Rollins walk away from that fight, but just barely. They walk away beat and bruised. They will win, but only for how long? There are... actually, we are about to see Kasune Rush on YT come out here, and that could just change the fight. We've got Kasune Rush on both sides here. This might be a massive team fight here if we see the investment of both Kasune Rushes, and that's exactly what happens here. We are going to see both of them pulled out.
The defenders pop it first. They get the advantage of a couple of kills, and this should be an easy fight win for them. The ult economies were even, but a much better Kasune Rush used by Shinsk on the side of Rolling Ronalds. Perfectly timed and just full throttle. Everyone with their foot on the gas. The second that rush was out, everyone just W'd straight forward into MCEA Elite teams to find those kills as quickly as possible.
And I do want to talk about really quickly that communication between the team on Rolling Rollins, right? We saw Shinsky pop at that Kasune Rush, but we also saw Fly with a beautiful Maywall to really cut the team in half and allow them to get those early kills, which then allowed them to just completely dominate that team fight.
And coming up here, what's the story going to be? Kita's Mortar doesn't find anything, but it does push Rolling Ronalds all the way back to the end of second point. They're going to have to come out of this very narrow pathway here and face a ton of damage. Ronan popping the Ramatra ult is able to take down Fly. The sound barrier from one Leaf Clover is able to keep Rolling Ronalds in it for now. Deep starts to come alive and finds two with the overclocked. Make it three. How many impactful plays is Deep going to make? That is a 4K once again for the kid.
Oh my goodness, and Rolling Rollins have completely flipped the script. They've been sitting here for just about 3 minutes, holding right in front of this second checkpoint. There's only a little under a minute and 30 seconds left for MCEA Elite. They need to change up something, need to make something happen, but right now, Rolling Rollins have really dug in their heels deep, and they have just been dominating this defense.
I love that combo there with Deep. That's something you don't see too much. The Orisa ult, which kind of gathers people up, and then Deep throwing out that Disruptor Orb to slow down the enemy so they can't get out of the Orisa ult. So many times we see Orisa struggling to actually get kills with that ultimate because anyone can escape from the middle of that ultimate. You can get to the outside. Deep knows that, slows them down with the Disruptor shot, makes it so it's inevitable damage that you're going to take. That was a beautiful play.
Beautiful indeed, and now we're getting into potentially the last push, the last fight here. A little over 30 seconds remaining. Ultimates, we are going to see Kasune Rush get popped as well as beat on the side of Elite. Kasune Rush is up for Elite. Will they hold it or will they try to pop it? It's going to get popped as well, and now this is just a messy fight, but Deep on the upper end of it. Going to find three. He's looking for more.
Deep, we've got a star in the making. This guy came to play. He came to get recruited. Somebody signed this man. He is just showing off right now. The Sojourn mechanics. Kita trying to go along the right side. Gets a point in the nick of time to spark overtime, but I'm not sure they're going to make it in time. Deep in the back line on a crazy flank as Scarfy goes down to open up this fight. Deep takes down YT. Overtime wick starting to burn, and Kita falls to Deep as well. This guy is a showstopper, and he will have a stage in the final.
He will indeed, as Rolling Rollins take it 2-0 against MCEA Elite. What a fantastic match. Like we said, Deep has to get play of the game. If you're not giving it to Deep, I don't even know who you possibly could give it to. I mean, this entire play style on Kings Row, on the Sojourn, was a highlight reel. There's so many things that you could have chosen here. Kill after kill after kill. I mean, we saw Deep wipe the teams several times. So, I mean, yeah, has to be Deep. Have to give it up for play of the game for Deep there.
He was just so flashy, and this is what we were talking about, the semifinals. That one was a 2-0 game, but it was a lot closer than that quarterfinal game that we were just casting. And into the final, it's only going to get even closer than this. What a show that both of these teams just put on, really starting to shine. some of the best mechanics in high school Overwatch were just on the stage right there. So that was a blast to watch and commentate. Master Hamster, we talked about Deep so much, but who else were the stars in this game?
Yeah, when you think about it, Deep, it's so hard not to think about the other players. But I think on the side of Rolling Rollins, Deep Sea, the Orisa, you have to give it up for them. Really always in that front line, drawing a lot of attention, diverting that damage into the Orisa, making a lot of plays. We saw amazing javelins, in particular, right on that Lijiang game. We just saw so much out of them. And then, of course, I think on Kings Row, Shinsuke, the Kiriko player, was making a lot of plays, was able to get both healing and damage to allow that Kiriko ultimate to be up over and over again. Really, I think the strongest ultimate in the game right now. Kiriko ultimate is just so good. And so if you have a Kiriko player that is constantly and continuously getting that ultimate, that is a huge benefit for your team. So I think those are some other players that you really got to look out for. But honestly, the entirety of the Rolling Rollins squad was crazy. They were cracked out of their minds.
Yeah, that was a fun game to watch. They were really showing off some elite mechanics. YT as well, the other Kiriko player, did great. Ronan, the tank.
Yeah, Ronan,
Didn't start too hot on a Wrecking Ball, but once they were onto the Winston, things started to look a little better. And then once they were on the Ramatra on Kings Row, really starting to have a very tough presence to deal with in this game. So Ronan started out slow, had to get that warm-up round in on Lijiang Tower, but then looked great on Ramatra, especially as the map got a lot more closed corridors on Kings Row. Fly as well, going over to the May, something we don't see too much. Those May walls were so impactful on Kings Row. Definitely a couple that were round winning on the side of Rolling Ronalds.
I would agree. I'm really glad you brought up Ronan as well. Of course, MCEA Elite wasn't quite able to win out there, but the adaptability of that main tank of Ronan there, switching from the ball that they really looked like they wanted to play and they had success playing in some of the earlier games, not working out here against Rolling Ronalds, instead switching it up to the Winston, like you said, and then the Ramatra that I think was so much more impactful and did so much more for the team, really allowed them that really hot start on attack. Just unfortunately, they weren't able to finish out that second checkpoint or get to that third checkpoint.
And we are going to have Rolling Ronalds into the final. They're going to be either facing off against, I believe, Deerfield or Starlight. Might have been Royalty that won that last game. They weren't finished by the time we started this one, so unsure. But that finals is bound to be a banger. However, we are going to toss it back to the hosts, who are going to break this one down before we head to a break. And I believe get started with our Rocket League action to kick off on the mainstream. But Master Hamster, it's been a pleasure casting with you. Thanks for joining along. And everyone, I've been all charged back to you guys over hosting.
Thank you so much, Old Charge and Master Hamster, for your incredible analysis of Overwatch 2. And we saw that MCA Elite, they beat one of the best teams here in the bracket, and yet we have so much talent here that Rolling Ronalds just absolutely took it to them in map number 1, made a statement. And although there was a little bit of a bounce back there from MCEA, it just was not enough there on Kings Row, as that defense just stood tall on their heads.
It was an incredible show of talent across the entire board. I mean, you just had Deep being an unstoppable barrier for Rolling Ronalds there. It was once he got rolling at the Rolling Ronalds. Once he got rolling at the end there, it was just no stopping him.
That's right. So they will take on the winner of Deerfield, and Royalty actually got through on that side prior to them being able to see for the Overwatch 2 casters. But we'll see who wins that matchup to face them in the finals. But again, Overwatch 2, an incredible experience. You will not want to miss the finals, which of course will feature that Rolling Ronalds team. That'll be on Stay Plugged In D. So go to twitch.tv/StayPluggedInD as in dog. You want to go ahead and hit the follow button and head over there and open a new tab and just wait for that incredible finals matchup that we'll see. It won't be casted, but we will have the action here for you. We're about to transition to Rocket League here soon, but your final thoughts as far as Overwatch 2 goes?
Incredible gameplay across the board. I mean, we've seen Deerfield all weekend dominate, hoping to see them carry that over, but also would be, pretty impressed to see someone take them down. So we'll see if that's going to be Rolling Ronalds in the finals, or I think I can't remember who the other team was. I apologize, on the other side of the bracket. But either way, impressive gameplay, and excited to see the grand finals.
That's right. We'll see and keep you up to date on who it is, if it's Deerfield or a Royalty. And also, we'll keep you up to date during the finals as well to see who's ahead, who's behind, too. And we'll give you a reminder of which channel that will be on, too. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, it'll be the Rocket League Finals, a best-of-7 experience, and we'll have discounts on the call with me as well. Can't wait for that. We'll be right back. Olin back with me here. My name is Bearlight here on the Carry2College Winter 2023 stream. And we have another interview for all of you. And while we're setting up the Rocket League Finals here, we hope that you enjoy this interview that Sheridan had with Mesmer yesterday. Is obviously one of those Overwatch 2 players from Deerfield that performed so well. Although they didn't make the finals, Olin, they did fall short in the semifinals. He showed himself all of yesterday and today as well. I mean, he just performed so well, and I'm excited to hear what he has to say.
Absolutely, yeah. Impressive gameplay across the entire tournament from Deerfield Heights and Mesmer specifically, and we're glad we got to grab this interview with him.
So check out Sheridan sat down with Mesmer. Let's see what they had to say. Check this out.
I am James Weiner. I'm on Deerfield Warriors for the game Overwatch. My in-game username is Mesmer.
Awesome. And so you've had 2 pretty dominant performances today so far. How did those matches go?
They were really, really good. We got on a little bit early and we were talking. We were getting really hyped up before the matches. Our first game was a really close match. We had some good competition there. And they really put us to the test, and we really had fun with that one. We were really loud in comms and stuff. So, yeah, that one really set the momentum and set the pace for us moving forward. And then, we took on to the next game, and we just kept steamrolling with that momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. And so how would you say the Carry2College event has been so far as a whole?
Oh, it's really interesting. It's actually way more set up and stuff than I expected. I haven't participated in this before. I'm a senior. This is actually our first year with an esports program at our school. But it's really, really interesting. I play soccer, so I've been to other college events as well for like that. And this is just as high level, if not higher level, than the college recruiting events I've been for soccer and stuff like that. So I really love the setup and just being able to, the connections with colleges and being able to talk with like actual people from college and get more information. It's really interesting and really helpful for especially seniors and people looking to play esports in college.
Yeah, absolutely. And are you want to pursue esports in college as well?
Yeah, I'm going to try and play esports in college as well.
And what are you looking for in a college esports program or just a college as a whole?
I like around like medium-sized schools. So that's the main thing I'm looking at. I'm also looking to go into cybersecurity. So I'm looking for good computer science programs and stuff like that, a good social environment, and just like good location and things like that. And obviously an esports facility to have a developed esports program that I can go into and really thrive and live up to my potential in.
Yeah, absolutely. And have you attended the college fair yet?
I'm about to make my way there since we just finished our game. So after this interview, I'll be right on that. But yeah, we had the earlier where we met with some of the colleges, and I met with like Illinois Wesleyan and Ball State and some other colleges, and they gave a lot of good info on their programs.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you looking forward to for the rest of the event?
Really just playing. Definitely going to look at some more colleges too, but me and my team are just having a lot of fun. Yeah, we're hyping each other up, having a lot of fun, and that's just the beauty of esports. It's just like a team sport. You just are playing, having fun, and trying to win, and it's just a really, really fun time. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what would you say sets you apart as a recruit? Your academics, your play style, anything like that?
I think what sets me apart is that I'm able to balance so many things on top of not just esports, but I play soccer. I'm involved in the theater and other things in school, and I'm also really good academically. So I think just being able to balance everything and excel at whatever I am able to put my mind at is something that sets me apart from other recruits because I'm very well-rounded and able to do a lot and provide a lot.
The signs of a true leader. I mean, the captain there for Deerfield, obviously they put this program together, like you mentioned, not too long ago, and it's been so successful ever since. I mean, Mesmer knows how to lead by example. You can tell that he's got his head on his shoulders, ready to really tackle his next step in life, and I think that's super important for a player to have, and he's got it, man. 100% has it, Olin.
Yeah, definitely. You can just tell the confidence in his voice, and even when he was mentioning on balancing the school life as well as the esports side of things, he kind of knows where he's going and excited to see where he goes.
No doubt about it. We appreciate, of course, we want to throw a shout out to Sheridan as well for her great job in interviewing and really truly bringing to life and into our vision everything happening behind the scenes on the recruitment piece. I know we focus a lot on the games and matches here on this main channel, but there's so much more happening behind the scenes recruitment wise. And so thank you to Sheridan. Thank you again, Olin, for joining me as well. You'll be joining me at the very end to wrap up the day in addition to that. So definitely a shout out to all of you. We're going to take a quick break before we launch up some Rocket League, so don't go anywhere. You're watching Carry2College on the Stay Plugged In Network. It is time for the Rocket League Finals here. We just saw Overwatch 2 wrap up. We heard all of the interviews that we've heard over the course of the last few days have been excellent. And so all these players and college coaches, we thank you as well for coming out and supporting this this cause. And make sure to tell your friends about it. Tell your friends, family, maybe those who may be still doubting gaming and esports, and say why. There's so many opportunities here in this scene. And so make sure they know about Stay Plugged In. If you haven't already, go to staypluggedin.gg yourself, and you will not be disappointed. Olin, your thoughts going into the Rocket League Finals here?
Yeah, no, should be an exciting lineup coming. I know we've got Humphrey, number 4 seed, and number 2 Bag Chasers. Humphrey upsetting the number 1 seed. Couldn't see that coming into this weekend, but exciting grand finals lined up for us, and should be fun.
Absolutely. For me, Resinal and Tide, I believe both of them are juniors. I know that Tide is. I can check on Resinal as well, so they still have another year to go. And they've been winning like crazy in the weeklies. So to see them go down was surprising, yes, but it's good to see them have a little bit of time too to even hone in even more so. I know they've gotten into contact with schools already just from that simple fact alone. Remember, all players get to be on the scouting report as well for every event, so I know they've got that in mind too. Well, I'm going to bring in discounts now, and he and I are going to cast the Rocket League Finals here for Carry2College discounts. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing great. Ready to cast some phenomenal Rocket League. Obviously, we got a series of 7 in the finals, so we got a lot of great Rocket League ahead.
That's right. In discounts, I wanted to bring to your attention here in this bracket, so many teams, right? We had up to 28 teams, I believe, and some of the CMS League kids made it through. The Bean Boys in the quarterfinals, they weren't able to get past Humphrey, who now appears here in the finals. But I mean, that's losing to a team that has a chance to win it all. And so Barris and Rux, they were on that squad, and so they also had Skimmit with them too. And you know how effective he was. So talk to us a little bit about the CMS League before we launch into game one.
Right. So CMS League is awesome, great opportunity. We saw some great, esports competitors, and now seeing these guys knock off some of these guys. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they got.
All right, we got Humphrey facing off with Bag Chasers here in this one. Humphrey in blue, and they got the first goal as well.
Already.
1-0. My goodness.
First 5 seconds of the game. What more can you ask right here as Peep driving that one right in?
Yeah, G-Man was able to cause some chaos and get the block out in front, and just an easy tap in there on the doorstep from Peep. This Humphrey team has been around for a while in the Stay Plugged In network. But on the other side, you have Fast, who's very talented. Was actually grinding some six-mans in Rocket League and ran into him quite a few times there at the GC level. He's made his way to SSL. And Wiz on this team too, who was former Charlotte Phoenix, actually, as he was the sub 4 to that squad. So pure 1v1 talent in the North American scene. So these players are all skilled in this lobby, and we expect nothing less.
Absolutely, and like we see already 5 seconds and a goal already. So now it looks like a little bit of timing building back up for Humphrey. Let's see if Bag Chasers can get one on the board for themselves.
Now a demo out in front, the shot there and in. Fast able to sneak it through just before Peep can get to it.
Just like what I said, watch this again. Break this one down, Bear. Look at this.
Yeah, Fast just up on it in that side wall, and Peep, although he dove across to try to get that short side post, could not quite cover in time. I mean, that's just pure speed and conversion from left wall into the back of the net. Well done here, and with less than a minute played, we have a strike both ways, and that's going to be a telltale sign of what we see here later on in the series.
Absolutely. I mean, right now, just no one really giving the clear cut of who's going to win this one. Back and forth already. Great save there, there by Peep on Humphrey.
Yeah, he was able to keep it out temporarily, dove across there too. I mean, the speed kind of catches you by surprise sometimes. Is now Fast quite appropriately, right? The speed and Fast able to get to it. And a variety with that flip reset to get it over to Fast as well. Using his mechanics, Fast almost got that touch back down. But you can just tell a pure difference in the speed between this and the CMS League. And obviously, we want to see the CMS League develop and grow into players of this caliber. But this is just the best of the best here. It's plain and simple.
And this is when you're looking, if you're a CMS student at home and watching this, hey, learn from some of these players. I mean, obviously, anytime I even cast a Rocket League with you, Bear, I feel like I can turn on the game and just learn just from watching these players.
100%, and that's a good thing to talk about here for some of these players looking for collegiate opportunities. I think Ult Charge, one of our Overwatch 2 casters, said it best when he was talking about the fact that, you may not be at that upper echelon, the top tier, but you have so much to learn, and you can get to that point for sure. Well, it is kind of calmed down after the first 2 goals happened in the first minute. The next 2 minutes have been pretty quiet so far, but Fast with the flip reset, and G-Man with a huge save. Wow.
The defense is there now. I mean, like we saw a really fast offense, and now, like you said, back to defense, and now it's been a defensive game.
This one lingering. Wuzzy with a chance to shoot button, short side post, and it corralled a little bit, played a little bit of pinball, but it doesn't matter how it goes in. They still have this 2-1 lead.
That's right. Check that shot out. Honestly, perfect placement by Wuzzy. Unbelievable.
Yeah, the post bounced off the backside of the defender there too. And we have ourselves a 2-1 game here in favor of Humphrey, who again just upset the #1 seed in Shooters, a team that's been around for a while, and Tide and Resinal, who make incredible plays and are typically in the conversation when we talk about close qualifiers for RLCS. And so now we're talking about the collegiate scene, and there's other talent stepping up always. I mean, this is the next man up mentality that we see in traditional sports and again here within Rocket League.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw, the next man in line in the CMS League actually have players step up in the finals, and they actually played really well. So going back to the CMS League, that is something that you want to look out for it. If you're the next in line, make these opportunities count.
That's right. We have Fast settling it down, quick touch around, but G-Man able to pick up on that. Looks as if Variety was able to challenge that one quickly too, and G-Man from that back wall jumped down, almost got that angle from a negative angle standpoint.
Ooh.
What a read from Peep as he somehow jumped out into the box and read exactly where they were going to go with that. That is just anticipation at its finest.
Yeah, Fast trying to get there. Actually got there, but Peep was there on the counterattack, and great stuff by Peep, and gives himself a nice insurance goal for Humphrey.
Incredible work. And now they push forward. And back on rotation, though, is Fast as he tried to get that extra touch, maybe play it past the back defensive line of Humphrey. But no, it's not mission accomplished. But was he? It seemed like there was no gap there at all, and he somehow found that little bit that they couldn't quite get to there. Caught them both challenging and able to make it a 4-1 game. Humphrey out, and they're hot right now.
And then, honestly, you look at the score and you think this has been a blowout from the beginning, and no, it was a close game throughout this whole game until maybe the last couple minutes. And now we're seeing, Humphrey just pull away in game one.
Wiz tried to challenge that back wall. Now Fast gonna let it fall back down. We'll get the flip reset once, try to get it twice. That extra little touch got it to Wiz, and he challenged the back wall. Variety back up for Pete, makes a save. The recovery was unreal, and he's keeping it still a 4-1 game for Humphrey. Wow.
Yeah, unbelievable defense by Humphrey, and you just see that time and time again. After one save, the next guy's in line. He's going to be there. The rotations are great right now. You see great defense, and that should be carrying the momentum in the game too.
Now it's kind of hanging out and letting Wizzy get the next touch was Wiz. As Fast will tap it out to midfield. Wiz needs to turn quickly. He does. Great job to step up in replacement of one of the others, and Wiz able to tap it down and showing why he earned that sub spot for the Charlotte Phoenix, one of the pro teams here in the scene. And he will get them back within 2 here. Although it is super late in this game, I mean, you still have a little bit of time. You can get a quick kickoff goal and maybe converse about winning this game number 1 of this long best of 7.
Yeah, you're looking for a kickoff goal right here, and that's kind of going to give you that a little bit of extra time for the tie, possibly to send in an overtime. But right now, you see so much clock has been killed, and possibly looking for game 2 to get back on track.
Yeah, let's get
for Bag Chasers.
That's right. Try to use the corner now, but down to 4 seconds left. So it will be a win here for Humphrey to kick things off. But the last goal was in favor of Bag Chasers, who really stepped up their game there late. Even though it went to a 4-1 game, they didn't count themselves out for game number 1, which I think is super important to consider as well. But it'll be Humphrey on top with a 1-0 lead here in the best of 7. And every single play that they had was absolutely calculated. They knew exactly where they wanted to go with the ball, but not only that, they were able to execute to get the ball where they wanted to go. It was really at their will basically all game long.
Yeah, and believe it or not, I mean, Bag Chasers had the most shots. It was just Humphrey playing great defense, able to get those saves and also have those counterattacks. And you saw them take game number 1.
Yeah, Peep is known around the scene from his longer name when we talk about what used to be Smash.gg, but now Start.gg as Peep the Skill. Well, I was peeping the saves because he had 7 of them in that game number 1. Absolutely excellent performance defensively, and it was able to transition, like you said, out of the defensive zone. You were completely correct in that analysis that's what they've been able to do, and that's what they're able to accomplish, and one of the reasons why they're able to make it here in the first place as a number 4 seed. They're looking a lot like the number 1 seed right now. I guess when you beat Shooters, you get a bit of confidence beating the number 1 seed there in the semifinals.
Yeah, that's what counts. You beat the number 1 seed, you get that confidence saying, hey, we're good enough to be the number 1 seed. Let's keep it going.
That's right. And we'll keep it going with game number 2 here momentarily. I'd like to see, a little bit more prowess. I think the aggression definitely helped on the other side of things. So I'd like to see Bag Chasers really go after that trap game that they were able to bring so well. I mean, the speed of these two teams are pretty equal. I think both teams have really stepped up to the plate when we talk about the transition play, and we'll see if they can continue that here into game number 2. We'll eyeball that here momentarily. While we wait for this next game to start, the Bag Chasers will kind of go through their pathway here to the finals. They did have a bye round in round 1, and in the quarterfinals a 3-2 victory over BBE. So they're struggling a little bit to get here until they hit the semifinals against 916 Frosty. And when we saw them line up, it was a 3-0 win over Salado, an individual that's been in the Rocket League scene for a while now. So they 3-0'd them too. So we talked about how Humphrey has some confidence too. Both teams really coming in with that head of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially with Bag Chasers, even though they lost by 2 goals, that last goal I felt like gave them that momentum, saying, "Hey, we're still in it. We can still compete with these guys. It's only game number 1. Let's not fold under pressure right now. Just 1 game."
Yeah, and for Humphrey, I mean, a lot of it is going to be Wuzzy. You'll see him take shot after shot. He actually had the highest. He had the highest shots per game when we talk about day 1. So during the group stage, and he wasn't actually involved in the first round because he got that bye round, like we mentioned yesterday. So through his group stage, he was number 1 in shots taken per game, and that was at 5.11. Wow. You're gonna harass the net. You're gonna make that defense be forced into situations that they, quite frankly, don't want to be in.
Yeah, absolutely, and we saw that, and especially if Pete can keep playing the defensive style he did in game 1 throughout this series. I mean, Bag Chasers could be in trouble.
That's right. It's a real possibility they could be on their heels. We had one of the players disconnect from the lobby, so that's why we're waiting for game 2 to start up. But once he gets back in the lobby, we'll kick you into game number 2 right now. Humphrey up 1-0 if you're just joining us in this best of 7 finals. Looking to close out with a purpose after that upset against the number 1 team, Shoot Us. In the meantime here, let's talk a little bit about Stay Plugged In and about CMS League and how they tie in. So with Stay Plugged In, as you've been watching here on this channel, Carry2College is that recruitment event, and Discounts, I know you're probably like me, where you're one of those individuals who are like, why wasn't there esports scholarships when I was in high school, bro?
100%. I see this, and it's not me complaining, but it's because I love now it's finally here, right? So I love building and having this community where esports is here, in high school. But if I had that opportunity back in the day, I know I'm not gonna say my age, but either way, I would have 100% loved these programs and all this, and I would be in all of it. And it's just great to have that here.
What would be your game of choice, just out of curiosity? Would you go
Halo
route maybe, or maybe that's not too big of a scene? Maybe go elsewhere.
First-person shooter. So back when I played, I was big into Call of Duty, but also back into sports games as well. So Madden, 2K. If there was any type of that, I would also have been in that. But I feel like Rocket League, I would have shined in that too. But I don't know if I could be as good as these guys, but with practice I might have been there.
Oh, it's tough to get there for sure in any title, to be quite frank, but I'm with you there too. I think any sports game except for maybe FIFA, which is funny because we casted FIFA together with the Charlotte FC that one time too. We got to get back in the booth together for some of those.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like it's a different style of game. Obviously, it's a lot of self kind of play when you're playing sports games. Not many teamwork. But that's why I love these type of games like Rocket League, where you have 2 other opponents. You need the communication to come out. You have a bunch of either rotations. You just have things sometimes unspoken, and that's just the thing about having team chemistry.
That's right. So obviously we had Halo come back to the area. We've got to the Charlotte area, so plans on joining and going to that event if you want to talk a little bit about that. But also, you just LCS for League of Legends also coming to the North Carolina area as they're going to Raleigh.
Yeah, absolutely. And Halo, I'll be there whenever they come to Charlotte, coming up very shortly. I will be at that event, and I'm excited because I went to the one in Raleigh, and that one was a great time. And now just having them just come to Charlotte, literally our hometown, how great,
That's right. Yeah, right here in North Carolina. For those of you who don't know, Stay Plugged In based out of North Carolina too, and Discounts usually joining me right here on the side, but today a little bit of a different feel. But
yeah, I'm cozy right now, Bear. I'm actually, believe it or not, in sweatpants right now, so I never really got to cast much in sweatpants, but right now I got the opportunity to. So why not?
Yeah, kind of take us back to the quarantine days there. You didn't have to really it all for your Zoom meetings back in the day.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? All right, well, we're going to head into game number 2 here momentarily. We're about to start right now, so let's talk details on how Bag Chasers can get back into it, because Humphrey, again, started off with that strong leads. It was 1-1 for a minute, but then they jumped out to 3 straight, and it was 4-1. We'll see if they can keep that up here. As game number 2 is underway, we had a substitute as well, and it's one of the best 1v1 players in North America. A top 500 player in S5 Cosmic is going to take the place of Wiz, as his disconnection issues, unfortunately, are still haunting him right now, but that is a great sub to have, is a top 100 1v1 star.
And this is exactly going back to it, is next man up, next man in line. Cosmic is probably going to make his name notice here in game 2.
And it's not like you change styles either, so you're right, because we talked about Wiz, and he's a 1v1 star himself. Right, both featured in the Fear 1v1 Fall Classic. So now we're back into a 3v3 scenario, true, but they're the same style of play where they like to go for those solo plays, but are also inept, or they're very able to go for demos, bumps. It's almost second nature for them to win 1v1 battles, which if we talk hockey or we talk basically any sport, those 1v1 battles can be everything. And right now, Humphrey are going to take advantage with the 1-0 lead.
Absolutely. Let's watch this again. Great play by G-Man to just pop it right over the goalie on that one and give themselves another start, another lead. They did this in game 1. They started off. This one took them a little bit longer, but nevertheless, they are up 1-0.
We'll see if Variety can try to get one back here. Great job, as you see the ball basically glued to his car on that air drag. But now back out it goes, and it actually is going to throw off Cosmic, as he's trying to get warm here. Obviously, Wiz was playing in his spot. He had to take over as a sub, so it'll take maybe a minute for him to get warmed up, feel the pace of play, and really see exactly how his opponent's going to line up against them. This one going to be the back wall. Fast able to sneak it in. The shot wasn't fast, but Fast was, in fact, ready for that one to tie it at 1.
Yeah, great play right there for it, literally just landing there, able to get right back up, take the shot. It did hit the post, but able to get that lucky bounce inside, and now we're seeing ourselves a tie game.
1-1 here in game 2. Bag Chasers trying to jump back into place after Humphrey kind of came out and caught him by surprise. Peep trying to do the same to Cosmic, but he's able to recover on that save. We'll see Wuzzy stepping up now, but Fast was easily in that place with the clean rotation out. And S5 Cosmic to try to buy some time. You see him really just dance around as he popped it up to the wall. Knew he was close enough to the wall to beat the defenders, and he took over ever since. As Peep took a shot, a little bit high. This one will challenge Cosmic, but he's got the read there on the back wall, and Fast will clean it up as the Bag Chasers get back out of the zone.
Yeah, already 5 shots by Humphrey and only 2 to Bag Chasers, and it kind of went opposite way in game 1. So a little bit of a different approach here by Bag Chasers, and look at that play right there, is able to get that clear.
Yeah, and back trying to get another touch. It's Fast, as now people try to play it across to Wuzzy. He does. That shot's going to be on target, but Cosmic, an easy job to clean that back up. As you see the passing defensively, both of these teams seem to be a little bit more defensive-minded than they were in game number 1. And that's not a bad idea, because that's where you get those transition plays. It all begins from your own end. But the thing is, you don't want to spend all your time here. As you see Humphrey struggling, eventually G-Man will get a good 50-50, and Fast will have to play it backwards. It's an own goal. Oh, no. That's rare to see in a finals match, and you know G-Man wants that one back.
And I was about to give props right there to Fast, cutting off a lot of these 50 balls, and then that time just very unfortunate, hits his car coming down, and there you go, an own goal, and Humphrey's taking advantage and taking the lead.
Yeah, I apologize. I said that it was G-Man with the mistake. No, he got credited with the goal that Fast actually hit into his own net, so correction there. But either way, you know he wants it back. The Cosmic will flick it out as they try to dig out of that mistake and try to forget all about it. Have to have that goldfish memory, as we say so many times. As G-Man will find that on target, but Fast able to go from the top side of the net to make that save, a squishy save for those of you in the scene. G-Man now tries to tap it across, but didn't get much on that one too. Variety and Fast. Now Wuzzy needs a touch, because waiting in the waters on the far side of that box was another member. As Cosmic was there, Wuzzy makes a huge save again, and now Fast back down to it. And the flick will go just up and
There
over,
it is.
as that was relentless from Bag Chasers.
Yeah, Bag Chasers, and you remember Fast was the one to do the own goal. He has scored just about all the goals, I feel like, for both teams. And either way, we got ourselves a tie ball game, like you said, short-term memory, and looks like he did just that.
Oh, now Cosmic. Great job in recognition from G-Man to see exactly who he is up against, because that would have been a 1v1 situation that you don't want to be a part of defensively. And he was able to touch it before anything further developed, as G-Man will try to tap out of the zone. Great job from Wuzzy to just barely beat out his opponent. Now Variety going to try to bait in Peep. Did a good job with it, but so did Peep, as he was able to backflip and get to a place where he could challenge that one. S5 Cosmic, he's going to be challenged as well. This one will go back out to center field as G-Man with the turn. This one will challenge Variety right there. Wuzzy tried to pop it himself. Cosmic and each of these teams just trying to inch their way over. It's almost like the 3-and-out field position type game that we see in football.
Very defensive game of football for sure. Just the ground and pound type is what we're watching right here for Rocket League, as Cosmic trying to do something there, but no, it's going back and forth, a tennis match, if you will.
That's right, exactly. Or a game of Pong for those of you who are old and boomers in gaming. 50-50 at the top of the box, and we're down to 17 seconds left here in this game number 2. Bag Chasers really could use a win here. You don't want to go down 2-0. I know it's a best of 7, but that would be tough, as he'll push out now. But G-Man was right there. A good pass over to Wuzzy. He goes well high with it. The double touch was available, but he went high as well. And Pete, the shot save! Oh, he got to it, as that one was all but in, and people try to get it across. Another shot as they continuously be challenged. Cosmic was bumped off it by his own man, but it will hit the ground. We have overtime.
That was an unbelievable save. Literally, the ball, I think, was halfway in the net, and somehow just not giving it to him, and we're going to see ourselves in overtime here.
That was wild. Could not believe he pulled that one off. And now early again. The challenge Bag Chasers couldn't quite find it. And Humphrey right back out of the zone. Now Variety holding on. Will play up sidewall. Peep gonna jump out and challenge early. And now that he saw that, was able to locate, he pulled it back down. Instead, that's far post. A chance in the double was there, and Fast able to tap it across. Bag Chasers will even the series.
Yeah, that was Fast. Coming in fast. Watch this right here. Just perfect in the top left corner to seal the deal and give the Bag Chasers one of their own.
Incredible work from this team that just dug deep in this one and was able to just kind of, find their way, find their stride.
Yes.
We saw an incredible flick there earlier from Fast to set up things early, and he got the hat trick here in this one and really drug his team into a victory here, quite plain and simple, as Cosmic stepped up into a role to be that sub, and you didn't have to rely on him coming in to make the difference either. Instead, you had somebody already in there, made the adjustment quickly, and was able to really find their stride offensively.
Absolutely. Fast put the team on his back. 3 goals, 4 saves. You saw that last second goal at the end to win it and take game 2. Unbelievable. Keep your eye out on him on game 3. I think he's hungry.
Yes, he wants another one. There's no doubts as they continue to really be relentless. We saw a couple of times they just would not give up on the doorstep. Just challenge after challenge. You put up those shots, like we've seen from the other team, right? Humphrey and Wuzzy have done the same thing for Humphrey. That's one of the reasons why they got to the finals. We'll see if they can get back up on top on the shot count, because it definitely heavily favored the Bag Chasers in the last one. They were able to pull it off, and now a quick answer here from Wuzzy right on cue.
Yeah, Wuzzy, another. Man, we were saying it. When they start out hot, it's in the first 5-10 seconds. You see it right there. Once again, Humphrey getting an early lead. This has happened every game that we've seen so far. Game 1, game 2, both they came out scoring the first goal. So let's see if game 3 is going to be any different on the outcome.
People now would be in the corner. A little bit of a chip shot away from him was Cosmic. The G-Man was all over it. Now trying for that extra touch. And that serves as a pass out to the box, but by the time anybody was able to get to it, it was a little bit too late. And that makes me think that G-Man maybe called it as a shot instead of a pass, so unintentional, but no harm done until he missed that one, though. So G-Man, a bit of a mistake there defensively, and Bag Chasers was able to even it here pretty quickly.
And who is it? Nevertheless, it's Mr. Fast going in again, once again, tying it up. This has happened again. Game 1, game 2, 1-1. against the score. Bear, what are your thoughts? Literally having the same exact script in game 1 and 2, and now following that in 3.
Yeah, that's always something that I look for in players to maybe change patterns, right? You see them coming at you, and it's very much harder than it is, said than done, right? Or it's easier said than done, rather, because, you feel a pattern, you want to just kind of continue doing what you're doing, but you have to make adjustments here. And if you're Humphrey, especially when you get challenged so often like Backchasers have been able to do over the course of the last, really 3 or 4 minutes dating back to game number 2.
Right, and that's what I like to say is like getting out of your comfort zone, trying to get out of your comfort zone, but also play well, because I know obviously if you feel like you are out of your comfort zone, you're not really possibly playing your best game. So try to always maybe meet in the middle in that situation.
That's right. Yeah, find that balance, right, and get back into equilibrium is the case, and we're equal here. 1-1 the score as the challenge out at midfield. Variety going to try to challenge again. He beat 2 challenges. That's 50-50, so he won. One wasn't even one. He beat him out. And now Cosmic tries to get back to it. But G-Man going to hold on to it. Now Variety holds, waits, and going to try to bait in Peep. He does, but Peep able to get that touch. Now another shot, but Fast makes a big save as his offense has been the talking point, but his defense steps up here as well.
Absolutely. People almost had that counter in that situation. Now turning back and hopefully getting there. Not going to be able to get there as Backchasers take the lead here 2-1.
And G-Man didn't think he was going to get challenged by Variety there. He got the first flip reset. Maybe he was looking for 2 as he thought he had more time, and then he actually had. So, I mean, credit Backchasers for taking advantage of that. But it seems like a breakdown in communication from Humphrey, who should be calling out, hey, you don't have as much time as you think, and we need to be back in rotation. They were just caught sleeping, snoozing a little bit on the third man efforts here. So now a 2-1 lead here for Backchasers as that one's across S5. Cosmic fires, but a good save there from Peep. Now back out to the box, and Peep going to clear it back out. This time they are back, and Fast will work from his own side of the field. You see the couple of touches glued to his car as well, and that 50-50 will play it forward into their offensive zone.
Absolutely. Great plays by Fast. Great plays by Peep as well. I mean, he's doing the defensive thing just like we've been seeing him do in the first couple games, and isn't stopping here in game 3.
Defense is stepping up like crazy, making some impressive anticipatory saves continuously throughout the entirety of this series. Now G-Man holds. Cosmic with the challenge. This one will still hang in the zone. A good crafty touch from Wuzzy, but Fast was able to read it, and you see how quickly they get up to these challenges. There's a reason why these teams made it to the finals, and it's all about those challenges defensively, because we've seen what the offenses are capable of, and now we're seeing that the defense has learned how to really incorporate how do we stop these offenses. And maybe again, what a save, Peep! Oh, he can't get to it. Variety, and yet another big save from Backchasers.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable save. I thought that was going in top left corner. Not is somehow able to get the save. Backchasers trying to add on.
Now it's hold and a chase here for Peep, but that touch a little bit awkward. Left it for a shot from Fast, but he got up to it to try to make up for his own mistakes. The problem is Backchasers all over him again. Fast, another shot, but Peep was standing tall on the goal line. This one will hang high. Waiting for it is Wuzzy. Try to challenge it. Variety already up for this one. G-Man needs to get up. He was a little bit slow to it. He gets a touch, but it's back towards their own net. But Peep will be able to get it over to Wuzzy. And now it's time for Backchaser to defend. They can't. That's bar down from Wuzzy. And we're tied at 2.
Yeah, Wuzzy, great play on this. Watch this as he dribbled. Variety tries to go over the top. You see Wuzzy just enough, cleared to dodge that potential bump in air.
Just that loft, right? To get that over. Incredible work. Variety tried to get creative there, a variety of his gameplay, if you will, and just couldn't quite pull off the touch to get it away. As now that touch to fall back as Fast. That's the communication from Backchasers there. You saw him call and say, hey, you have plenty of time, which allowed him to turn around and get a more comfortable touch on the ball to try to direct traffic out of their own zone. But Humphrey's still pushing. See the same patience played by G-Man. Saw that they're going to challenge highs to try to go low. And now Fast can't do much. Variety the shot. And that was a high velocity shot. The defense read it, and they still couldn't do anything with it.
Right on top. G-Man was just not there. Peep almost with another incredible save. Just could not get it there. And now Bag Chasers only up by 1.
Timely goal there for Bag Chasers. Down to 22 seconds left. The flick, but Wuzzy will be able to touch this over to G-Man. He's ready for it. And now we'll get to Wuzzy, who tried to sidestep Cosmic, but his 1v1 skill will allow him the chance to challenge. But they only have 11 seconds left, and this one's going to give up possession right to Wuzzy, and they'll transition. It's over to G-Man, trying to get the dagger here in game number 3, but could not quite get that touch, as 5 Cosmic still holds fast. Going to try to tap it back down to Variety. They'll keep it high. They just need to kill it, and now Peep instead will get the read and try to keep it up. They can't, and Bag Chasers will go to a 2-1 lead in the series.
Yeah, Pete trying to get that one stayed up just so it gives his team a little bit of another chance, a couple more seconds of an opportunity to tie this one up. Just not able to set him up. But great job, though, by Humphrey. Just not able to get this one.
For sure. You could tell, the nature of Bag Chasers and their ability to be creative on that 0-second opportunity. You're like, why are they keeping it up in the air? They're trying to bait in the offense or bait in all players that are getting nervous. We got to keep it up here, boys. And then you try to push that one corner, and when all 3 of them push, you could just put it behind their heads, right, and keep it there. But Peep was very patient there as far as Humphrey goes. Peep stayed in the play, was able to at least give his team a chance by popping it back up. But you love to see the creativity of the teams trying to pull in the offenses, try to get them a little bit more aggressive, because right now both of these teams are defensive-minded, and why not when defense wins championships, right?
Absolutely. And you see, I mean, it's been helping a lot. The counterattack comes up if you play really well defense, and Bag Chasers seem to just kill it on the shot attempts. So let's see if they can keep that going here.
Now Bag Chasers, a chance to head to match point. If you're Humphrey, you want to even it too. Not the end of the world if you lose here, but definitely feeling the pressure should that happen. Good pass across, and Wuzzy was already off to disrupt that. A great interception to keep it into the hands of Humphrey, as Bag Chasers definitely had an intended target on that pass. It was on target, and if the defense still steps up, this is in the slot. Wuzzy the fake, but Variety still got it, but Peep able to follow, and that's a clean rotation. One of the reasons why they're able to break through.
Absolutely. Watch this again. I mean, just you got people behind you. Don't worry about it. Peep said Woozy does get blocked, but Peep right there has his back.
Definitely does. My goodness. For those of you who are watching the main channel and wondering where Overwatch 2 is in the finals, we will keep you up to date here as Roland Ronalds beat Royalty with the dominating performance in game number 1. And they actually were able to beat Royalty in game number 2 as well, and just the insane aiming skill from my admin team saying that they are just superior right now, just a team looking to close out on a mission in that best of 5, so just 1 game away from that victory in Overwatch 2. If you want to watch that, head over to Stay Plugged In D. That's twitch.tv/StayPluggedInD to watch the Overwatch 2 finals. In the meantime, Humphrey did strike first here, a 1-0 lead to try and even the series here if they can.
Time and time again, Humphrey's always on board first, Bear. I don't know. It's just the pattern recognition. It just keeps happening. And if it keeps following what it's been doing, we're going to have a Bag Chasers goal here very soon.
Yeah, exactly. The same patterns seem to repeat themselves. The G-Man needed that touch. Great job to get it. Played it off the ceiling to himself and still got the foot reset. That's just showing the pure mechanical skills that we have from both of these teams. There's another transition attempt from Humphrey, but got away from them a little bit. And so Cosmic was able to get to a 1v1 scenario and will easily tap that one in. You leave Cosmic in a 1v1 scenario, and he's going to even it here at 1 for Bag Chasers, and neither of us are surprised.
No, absolutely not. Cosmic, we knew he was going to put one in very soon after that sub, and there you go. He's here.
And oh man, another close game and match here on the Rocket League side of things as Cosmic tries to go back to work on the back wall, but Wuzzy, well, knows better. At this level of play, you always have one that needs to guard the net. You need one on the back wall too in case they challenge for a double touch, because it's nearly impossible to get that save on the goal line. So all these players playing excellent positionally, defensively, and that's why it's been so hard to strike through. And yet some of the strikers still putting up goals in bunches.
Absolutely.
Now we got A challenge here from Peep, trying to find G-Man, but an easy cleanup there from Fast as he'll play back out for the Bag Chasers, and he will chase it down quite appropriately. Now Variety finds Fast. Although the pass on target, recognized that the net was covered, so went to the offensive corner instead of trying to challenge with a shot, which would have just given away possession. They'll give away possession anyways, as G-Man will step up and get the pop high. That'll be Variety, but already up for it in the challenge, as Cosmic was called off it by Fast, and now that touch was able to set him up nicely, and in rotation, Variety a little bit too slow for it though. G-Man tried to get that angle, but he couldn't quite get it, as now Fast will clear out of the zone. And a Wuzzy to collect. Variety right back at it. Back wall challenge. G-Man, a touch. It's not away. It's into the hands of Cosmic. And now G-Man holds Fast right there. Slow plays it. Now Peep forced up the back wall, but Wuzzy gets across to get that challenge. It just seems like they're all over the place defensively, as you can't get around the Humphrey rotation. And now in rotation themselves as they challenge offensively, and Cosmic with a huge save as well.
The defense is there. You saw Wuzzy have a great shot and then another save. Had his teammate following him back, and still another save once again. This is all defense. Tied up 1-1, minute 20 left. Oh. This is could go down, and another one. Cosmic was able to get that one away.
Oh my, I thought that one was in. You heard me gasp. I thought it was on its way into the back of the net, but they were able to keep it out temporarily. And I say temporarily because they're still got their foot on the pedal. Cosmic with the 50-50. Couldn't get it around Wuzzy. So Fast will hold on to it. 1 minute left. Still a 1-1 game here. As Humphrey has a chance to even this series, it would be huge for them. Meanwhile, Fast holds. Now a touch from Wuzzy. Variety. Look to try to challenge that back wall. Now Cosmic keeps that trap zone gameplay going, but it does elude Fast here off the corner. This should be a good chance. Peep gonna play it across and get 2 to commit defensively, which doesn't happen very often in this tilt, but still no harm done. It'll be the defensive Bag Chasers who stand strong.
Yeah, it looks like this ball just canting across the 50 as we're watching, but now look at this shot. Gonna hit the top post, not gonna connect. Now Wuzzy trying to get a pass. There it is, another shot, another save.
Incredible work. Fast with that, had to half flip in order to get back to it, but the half flip transitioned into an aerial to get that last save. But down to 6 seconds left. Variety holds, waits the touch forward. Wuzzy gonna play it out of the zone. This will hit ground overtime yet again here in game number 4.
This is a great series, Bear. I mean, what more can you ask for in a game of 7, and already two of these games going overtime?
Yeah, it's been great, and this best of 7 is now Variety. We'll look to push forward, holds, and went horizontal instead. Cosmic with the speed, try to challenge Wuzzy. This will still hang forward for Humphrey, as G-Man couldn't quite connect. Fast right back out of the zone. He'll be allowed the chance to get the 100 boost, and Peep didn't quite connect the way he wanted to, and so he got the challenge as well. It's to Variety. The shot still lingering. Cosmic back wall, a save. The follow-up shot off the post, and now Variety again, but G-Man makes a save, and Humphrey holding on by a thin string.
I feel like we were witnessing something just, I don't know, nothing was going in, and it was due to the great defense and also due to the great crossbar that everyone knows and loves.
Yeah, was he going to try to challenge that back wall just like we've seen previously? You're right. As G-Man on it, the shot, that's going to go well high. Cosmic had a bit of trouble trying to handle that, but it'll eventually settle back down. That's in front, but Fast was already on it. Now they're in transition. Is Variety going to try and sneak in the far side post? Cosmic, a save! He got to it! Peep, I'm not sure how, but he was able to get to the far post and keep that one out as well.
I've seen Peep make more saves in this series than I've ever seen something like this happen. And another one! This guy's going crazy right now.
That's just pure dedication. At this point, that is unreal. He is playing out of his mind. And it has just summoned a whole different Peep. He's evolved in the Pokemon terms, right? He is just at his best form defensively, and he's given his team every single chance and shot possible. As now Variety going to try to end all of that for nothing for Peep. But now he's able to hold strong again. Was he to challenge the back wall? He's on it still. The double just off the mark. And now
just
the corner
missed
goes.
that double.
Oh,
just missed it.
Just off
Peep
the mark.
putting them up. But Wuzzy, I mean, they're on the attack right now. Humphrey is in a good spot in this situation. You're seeing it time and time again. A possible setup here. There it is, as Peep puts it down. Peep with all these great saves, and now the goal, the 2 minutes in overtime, slams it down to tie this series up, Bear.
And you saw G-Man challenge the back wall as well to get the man off that place where Peep could get to it. And so all of that effort from Peep, he digs so deep here for Humphrey and able to even the series here at 2. What a series it's been so far. Peep clearly the MVP of that solo game. 2 goals, 4 saves, and those 4 saves were incredibly timely and came back virtually out of nowhere. I mean, he was just all over the pitch, and he was a big reason why they're not only still in this, but advantageous, as not only have they drawn even here in the series, but they also have that momentum rolling into the next game.
4 saves by Peep. I feel like every one of them was by a hair. Or either already in the goal somehow, able to take one out. But also 6 shots as well. I mean, he's got the offense as well, so keep an eye on Peep. I mean, this team's just been rolling.
That is a work ethic that can really discourage your opponents to keep it off the goal line. And I'm talking like back chasers should have won that, right? It was just on the goal line multiple times. I'm talking the ball was probably 90% into the net in a couple of instances there. And he was able to keep it out, and then the dagger at the very end to end it in overtime. I mean, this man is absolutely outrageous, and you know who they're targeting in this next game here. If you're bag chasers, you're looking to get Peep off the pitch.
Absolutely, and just, I mean, maybe even demoing him just to get him out of goal too, because he is saving just about everything they're dishing out.
My goodness. We just got word. Rolling Ronalds wins game number 3 with a flawless sweep. Incredible work from that team in Overwatch 2. Congratulations to the winners of Overwatch 2 in Rolling Ronalds, as they just proved to be the best team in Overwatch 2 here in this event. We thank all of the Overwatch 2 teams for coming out here today and participating, not only today but yesterday in the weekend of Carry2College, and we hope and wish you good luck in your adventures into the collegiate scene. Incredible job from that team to just step up in all the right moments, and they're able to win the championship, and we'll see who takes it in Rocket League right now. It's dead even at 2.
I mean, this series is unbelievable. I mean, back and forth, no one's ever really just loaded up and saying like, hey, like this team's gonna absolutely win this. I mean, this is just a back and forth series, and you can't ask for any more. It's a variety. Getting the first goal for a change. Finally, bag chasers able to get the first goal of the game.
First time this series, right? Which is crazy. In game number 5, they finally get a hot start. I mean, it's not like they've had terrible starts, right? In fact, whenever Humphrey gets that first goal lead, they consistently have been able to tie it. We'll see if it's any different when they're not forced to chase for that first goal. We'll see if they can get the second one in just the same amount of time. I think that would go a long way to get them back on track after Peep and Humphrey just caught them by surprise last game.
Yeah, absolutely. But nevertheless, Humphrey now on the offensive side, trying to get themselves to tie it up, just like every game that we've seen, the 1-1 score.
Now on it is Cosmic, as Peep was able to easily target and locate that one. And you saw he wasn't confident in his touch, so what did he do? He went right back towards net to get that extra touch to get it to G-Man in order to get out of the zone. You're never out of a play in Rocket League. You are constantly either rotating, getting a touch, or reading the next touch, right? You have to be consistently mined in the game, and where's the ball gonna go next? Just like in traditional sports, it's all about calculating and anticipating the next play, while also being able to locate what you're doing in the current state of play. It just consistently keeps going. You can never be a spectator in Rocket League.
Absolutely. Knowing where that ball's going to be is, where you want to be. You want to be 2 moves ahead of your opponent. That's kind of where you're wanting to be, because you're expecting passes. You're expecting a goal from Cosmic as he gets up 2-0 here for the bag chasers. But yeah, you're always wanting to have, that extra move. Where is this ball going to be? Well, I'll already be here on the side wall. And so that's what we're seeing a lot of right now.
No, you're right. I was expecting a goal from Cosmic at some point, and we sure enough got it there, as you saw the bump out in front was ever so important to free up that space. And now almost another one here for Backchaser, and sure enough, they'll get it. Cosmic again. He strikes through. The demos and physicality is just disrupting the Humphrey play. You can tell Backchasers were on a mission after dropping that last game.
Yeah, and you're seeing it here for sure. Cosmic is just on fire here in game number 5.
Well, kickoff, and Humphrey needs to hit the reset button on this game, and it doesn't come after this game is over with. Hopefully not, because then that would mean that Bag Chasers are on match point. And so they do get one back here, so reset button, perhaps that's them hitting it right now.
They just hit it. G-Man pressed it for them. Watch this play as he just gets it under a variety. Great play right there to get them finally back on board and hopefully on the right track.
Yeah, the patience was shown there. I don't think there's any doubts. It's hard to be patient, especially when you go down 3-0 in a game that could be match point against afterwards. And so, you want to get a little bit antsy. For him, just absolutely has the ice, or trying to at least show that he's got it, as Cosmic kind of let that one go. Just gave away possession to G-Man, but Fast will find it back. The challenge will leave it for Peep. He's on back wall. Wuzzy couldn't do much about it as he's kind of out in no man's land. He would allow Peep to try to get that solo play. But Wuzzy with a good job defensively, held out and kind of played safety there. Kind of played the dime zone to try to cut off the back far in passing there that was trying to develop from Bag Chasers.
Yeah, I mean, Humphrey's putting out a lot of pressure right now on Bag Chasers, which is good. I mean, only a minute 30 left. You have to put some pressure on them, get an early goal, so you do have some time to put up that third goal to send it to overtime. So right now, Wuzzy on the offense, not able to take it across 50 though.
And Variety, I'm surprised I think he just misplayed that, because it seemed like it was pretty much a wide open net. You wanted to push forward, and he looked like he got handcuffed a little bit. So definitely a moment to remember if they're not able to pull it back. A challenge will go back wall. G-Man, touch out. Holds, waits fast. Going to challenge the back wall. Nobody up for that. Peep somehow read it. And again, he comes up big defensively. That is not easy to do by any means.
I mean, Peep, if it was anyone else, it would shock me. But just seeing that name, I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of what I'm expecting.
Keep the saves. I'm gonna call him that the next time I chat with him. 100%. He's been so good. Fast, the read. Oh, he got it the third time too. It didn't matter that he missed the double. He's still gonna stay in the play and presence of mind to put that in the back of the net as well. Bag Chasers looking for match point.
Game number 5, peep the saves, not the score right now for Humphrey, as we are seeing Bag Chasers take Game 5 away. And, they are going to have that momentum going into the next to possibly shut this one out.
Wow, Humphrey on their heels now, on the ropes, basically, as this might head to match point now. But that being said, they'll still have opportunities here. It's not over until it's over. Not only with this game, well, this game's basically over, but with the series for sure. You're never out of one until it's over. And this is not like it's going to have to take a huge comeback effort. It's not like we're talking about a 7-game reverse sweep. We're just talking about how they have to win 2 in a row. But it will be a huge advantage for Bag Chasers as they head to match point now in this one with the 3-2 lead in the series.
Absolutely. And Bag Chasers, they are feeling really confident. Whenever you get those splits, it's just huge having that extra game. You can kind of calm down, relax, and play your game rather than panic saying, hey, we have to win this game. So the backs aren't against the wall for Bag Chasers, but it is for Humphrey.
Yeah, and to see Cosmic come out and take the place of Wiz right off the bat, and to be that as effective as he has been. By the way, the man just went through surgery, I believe. If that's incorrect, correct me in prod chat, but I'm pretty sure that was the case. And he's coming back and playing it to this degree and taking over a spot that was Wiz's from the get-go, and just being that effective from the get-go is insane to me. And a chance to close out here and win that $1,000 winning prize. You already put $500 in your back pocket by making it to the finals. Why not double up and try to? We'll see if they can get it done here in game number 6.
Absolutely, and if that's true, I mean, that's very inspiring for sure. I mean, going in and trying to even compete right after that is very inspiring.
Wuzzy from his own end will pop it high, will force Variety back towards his own corner where Cosmic was waiting for it, and will try to pinch out. Peep had to get that touch away. That's a double commit there from Bag Chasers. Only one back, it's Variety, but Cosmic will rotate back so quickly. The shot going to be off the mark too, so no harm done here for Bag Chasers. But the pop going to force Fast up, and that's a lot of boost out of the tank and a life out of the tank from Bag Chasers as Humphrey chased them down, got the demo. Peep trying to challenge the box, but Variety was in the exact right place. We talk about anticipating the play. And you even see the wall crawling there too with some wave dashing, the dash chains in order to get back down the field. A bit of style here in the finals. That's all about confidence.
Absolutely. You know, you love to see it because you know these guys are playing with confidence, and you know, especially they should be up one on this, just needing to win one more. I feel like you play better whenever you're playing with confidence.
Agreed, 100%. G-Man, risky touch to try to keep it away, but Peep, I think he got the challenge there. If not, he definitely forced him away from it in order to make it awkward there, and a great job from Humphrey to get out of what seemed like a grade A chance developing from Bag Chasers. This one holds back, it's fast. Gonna try to challenge Wuzzy. That 50-50 will head off wall. Cosmic the back wall. Variety's there, nobody's back. What? No shot! G-Man just hit it into Peep, and they were able to keep it out, or was it Wuzzy? Either way, they combined with a 1-2 punch to get the save. Intentional or not, you gotta say, wow, Humphrey's defense has been ridiculous.
The star goalie, Peep, the saves is unreal.
I can't believe that. This one, a waterfall down and Peep, another touch. Otherwise, that was a tap-in for Fast, as he just continues to impress here. G-Man back out of the zone, Fast. We'll try to play it behind him to make it awkward for Peep, but nothing is awkward when it's in Peep's sight, let's be honest. As he pulls it back down, try to get the flick, but nothing on it, as it just fell right into the hands of Fast. And now he's got the pop past G-Man. Peep, the last man back, the one you want to see back if you have to have a 1v1 situation, but they still break through. It's Cosmic again. He's got a 1-0 lead here for Bag Chasers.
Just one more time here is Cosmic, great angle, and just able to put that one in, taking the lead here with the possible finals.
My goodness, this is it. They have the lead now, and we saw what happened the last time they took the lead early, which was in last game, when they were able to finally break through for the first goal, draw first blood, and they got the win there too to head to match point to begin with. They're trying to add to that, but Wuzzy on it, couldn't get the touch on the ball, but instead jumped out and got the demo too. Looked like it might have been drawn up since they had a lot of defense back for Bag Chasers. Why not jump out in front when you have the next touch and try to challenge him? But it's not a challenge when you got Cosmic back to you making these saves. All the way up to the ceiling. Fast read that one all the way as he was up to the ceiling too. G-Man forcing Variety to get there. He found Cosmic, and that passing out of the zone has been great, but that's a mistouch from Humphrey. This one will go high. Now Variety up the shot, and they do break through. Bag Chasers up 2-0 now.
Yeah, that was just a great play. Cosmic with the setup, Variety up in the air, not even giving Peep a chance. Somehow, Peep doesn't make that save. I don't know how, but because he's been making them all night. But now up 2-0, Bag Chasers trying to close this one out and claim victory.
Yeah, you never want to make those last second saves all the time, right? You want it once in a while, but eventually they break through by a pixel or not, you know, but they've been keeping it close. But they are down, and now they are definitely on the ropes. 1 minute, 30 seconds left, they need 2. If anybody's able to do it, it would be this Peep and Humphrey combination, who's been so great defensively. Their mechanics are second to none, but Bag Chasers' defense are going to try to claim themselves as brick walls here to try to close out. As you see G-Man to the back wall, Peep will go back wall again, trying to free up space to get a demo or a bump, but there was nobody in support here. It's back out of the zone for Bag Chasers here.
Seeing Peep, see if they can get something here with a great pass, but Fast going to be able to get that clear. Now only a minute left. Humphrey's going to have to score very soon if they want to have a shot at sending it to another game.
Fast holds. Waits, good challenge from G-Man. Was he already up for this one? The touch, what a save from Cosmic! And that'll keep it out now as he bounced it and played it off his own backboard, essentially, in order to get that out. The LeBron James save, if you will. But G-Man's not done. The shot, Cosmic, another one! He got across and keeps it alive. A 2-0 lead still remains here for Bag Chasers as they try to close out again, time ticking down.
Cosmic with 3 saves. Now, they were the Peep type of saves too. Unbelievable. And now, I mean, still scoreless right now. Humphrey just trying to get that ball back on the offense. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to. 10 seconds counting down, Bear.
There it is. Peep will leave it. Wuzzy trying to push forward. They need one goal right now. Fast able to keep it away from them. Peep can't do much about it. And he was great defensively, but not good enough. Bag Chasers are your Carry2College 2023 champions. champions. What a performance from this
That's awesome.
team as they just dug deep and were able to take it to this Humphrey team that looked sharp. It didn't matter how many incredible saves people were able to make. This team came together. Cosmic came in late to sub in for Wiz, and it didn't matter. This team just on point throughout the entirety of this bracket.
Absolutely. I mean, great game. I mean, like I said, just going through back and forth. I mean, whoever was taking the lead, it wasn't too much longer with the other team coming back. And now you just see phenomenal saves on both sides. Cosmic, Peep went from the Humphrey side, but just unbelievable on both sides. Great game, a best of 7 for sure.
That's for sure. Oh, my goodness. I mean, every single player in this lobby deserves, in my opinion,
Absolutely.
of course, an opportunity for the collegiate scene to play at the CRL level. I truly believe that every single player on this pitch has an opportunity to play at that level, and that's a mark that's getting more and more difficult season by season as so much talent has come through. With the pros hitting the scene too, all of these players are borderline pros as it is, and I still think that all these players have that potential to play at that level. And if they don't, even if they don't, there's so much opportunity out there with some of our partners with let's say NECC, right? You have college carball in addition, so there's not just this, right? You have NACE Star League. I mean, we talk about the many different leagues that you have available. If you're going to find a college, and really the importance is school first, but then also you can compete at leagues, and these players are going to be difference makers wherever they end up.
Absolutely. And you've seen the leadership, the communication, just the teamwork out of all of these players. And, just hats off to all of them.
Amazing day. Discounts, thank you so much for joining me here in the booth for this Rocket League Finals. It definitely didn't disappoint. Your last thoughts?
Absolutely. I love casting alongside you, Bear Light. Great seeing all the competition, just the talent out here. You got to love it. And until next time.
Incredible stuff. Again, we bring back in Olin for his final thoughts here to Carry2College, because obviously we saw the Overwatch 2 finals in Olin. Your final thoughts here to wrap up the rest of the night here.
Man, the competition was fierce. That last series was maybe the best Rocket League series I personally ever spectated. The saves out of Peep were incredible. Cosmic coming into play, subbing in, not missing a beat. It was incredible.
What a way to wrap up the day. Let's reflect on it. The many college interviews we've had, the player interviews, all the stellar competition in both Overwatch 2 and Rocket League. I do have to put you on the spot. What was some of your highlights here for us throughout the rest of this broadcast?
Man, I mean, the one that stands out was the interview with Wazdy Taylor. That was just a very heartfelt and passionate message coming out of him, and he's a true leader and is going to step up into any program. This case scenario being Concord University, he's going to be a great addition to that program. But I mean, other performances, you got Deep in the Overwatch scene, just absolutely frying all day. Mesmer doing the same for Deerfield, just incredible performances all around, and I'm just very, very proud of everyone. Honestly, I'm gonna sound like the proud dad right now.
I'm with you. And also from players, right, being the proud dad, but also behind the scenes in production. Every single one of you guys that stuck around for the entirety of this broadcast and put together the show of over 30 streams in addition to it. A big shout out to you guys as well. And of course the colleges and players that came through too. For any colleges out there, one of the benefits of being part of the Stay Plugged In network and creating your college account is getting those scouting reports and finding all of these incredible players that you saw here on stream and being able to locate the right players for you, not only just for the pitch, but also maybe which students you want as part of your program studying for esports or otherwise. Who do you want to bring to your school, right? I think it's super important. And then for players, of course, staypluggedin.gg, create your free profile. You can legitimately play in one of these recruiting events, and in addition, get your name on the scouting report. That's absolutely free. The first thing you gotta do though is go and create an account. It is so much worth it.
Yeah, absolutely, and not to mention the Spin League series we just announced yesterday. That's coming to fruition very, very quickly, and creating an account and getting your name first in that ballot is only going to set you up for success in the long run.
Absolutely right. Again, we thank everybody for tuning in too. We can't forget you, the viewers, for coming through and making it all possible too. Thank you all so much. That'll do it here for Carry2College Winter 2023, and we hope that you all have a great night. Until next time, good night.